All right. We made it, guys.
We did. Better
we made it.
Late than never.
Facts.
Okay?
Facts. We said we're going to do this, and we are here doing it.
We are here for it.
I am CMoney, and right next to me, you have the very lovely Doodle.
Thank you. How you guys? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed.
I'm excited to be here. Shout out to Paige. First one in the chat. Baby, welcome.
Woohoo!
Yes.
All right, so we are here with our very, what did I just say? Not know, don't know. Who knows?
Those were words.
These definitely words that came out.
Not.
But we are here with our latest episode of Her, Him, and a Mic.
I'm so excited. See, I am here with the denim. Okay, if you guys can see my dress. All right, 90's throwback.
90's throwback. Why are we doing a throwback? Because we are going to have an episode where we focus on the 90s and 2000s TV shows.
Yes.
That shaped us.
Listen, I may not have just the right information because I may have not, I wasn't born yet. You know what I mean?
Okay. Don't lie to people. All right. Don't confuse them. Make them think that you're some type of Benjamin Button. All right.
Benjamin Button. Oh my God. Did you watch that movie though?
I didn't, but we will talk about that in the 90s, 2000s movies that we do at one point.
See, let me ask you a question.
Ask me.
Didn't you have like a pet dinosaur? Just kidding. I'm trying to call him old. Just joking.
Oh, so I'm old. I'm old.
Just joking. See, just joking.
Old. Oh, okay.
They keep on rolling.
Got it.
First, I have to show them this. Okay, yesterday on last night's stream, I was talking about this candy that's so freaking yum that I'm totally obsessed with.
Yum.
And check it out. Let's see if you guys can see it. You can see it?
Oh, you can see it. It's there.
So delicious, you guys. But I mentioned that CMoney had found it because I don't find it too often, and he has snatched some bags for me. So
that's how we do.
I just had to show you guys.
That's how we do. Hacker was good, bud. Purpleberry, welcome.
Welcome, loves.
As a reminder, Purpleberry is the moderator of the chat.
She
so
is.
Be cool.
Be cool. Be
and
nice.
She'll be cool.
Respectful. And then we'll have a good time.
We'll have a good time. Now, Paige out here throwing amazing compliments.
Yes.
She says, you guys look 20.
Thank you, Paige.
That's what
Thank you.
Can't deny it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Thank you, Paige. She's wearing an AC/DC shirt.
Yes.
She's ready to go. She's throwing back.
There we go. That's our girl. So she knew what she was coming in for. She was ready for it. And, so are we. And
so are we
hope
indeed.
you guys enjoy these shows that we're going to talk about. Ready, Steve? You ready to get into it?
Absolutely. So we're, again, talking about our favorite shows from the yesteryears. We had so many yesteryears.
Oh, yesteryears. All right.
Come on, man.
All right. I'm trying to keep up with the youth. With the slang.
With the slang of the youth.
All I've got is Riz right now. All right. Thanks to Hacker out there teaching us some slang.
That's true. They are the way we learn these new young words, apparently.
Exactly. Thank you,
All
guys.
right. So, listen, we have some that are here. Now, we're not limited to this, but I put our thumbnail right underneath us so we can kind of take a look and see. So we have The Office.
Oh, my gosh.
Banger. We have the George Lopez show.
So good.
Super funny.
Hilarious.
That 70s show.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a banger there.
That's how you know it's an oldie when they've rebooted the show.
Absolutely.
And they started the 90s show on Netflix.
So we have Martin, we have the King of Queens, and we have Friends, the granddaddy of them all.
Yo, seriously though. But yeah, there's a lot more that we are hopefully going to get into, but those are the ones we just put out there on our Discord. We send out a couple of like the theme songs, and we send out a couple of clips from some of these shows.
Yeah, it's cool when you kind of go back and see them. I mean, honestly, a lot of these shows we still watch.
Right? Oh my gosh,
we still
it's
go
so
back
easy
and watch
to
them.
just have it in the background, and they're just hilarious. I feel like you don't have that type of comedy anymore.
TV's very different now. You know, everything has to be a production.
And I truly love that those shows, like you kind of say, yo, I just want to watch something. And they have so many seasons, and every season has like 20 plus episodes, and you're like in for it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like real fun.
There's like so many seasons too. So like you have so much content that you can kind of dive into.
Yes.
But which one do you want to start with? Which one?
Okay.
Which one do you think?
I think, okay, I just looked down and I see in the chat the 70's show.
All right.
Okay.
Paige says the 70's show is her all-time favorite show ever.
Let's go.
70's show was freaking awesome.
I love the 70's show. From the outfits, from the actors, like it was just hilarious. And then to hear how this show kind of came about and how young these kids were, where they're kind of like Mila Kunis was like 14 when she was on that show, right?
Yes.
And she played Jackie, and she's her and Kelso, like my favorite, like forever, Jackie and Kelso. And the crazy thing is that it turned out that they got married and had kids together. How awesome!
Finally,
is
you know what I'm
that?
saying? Like finally,
Right?
the story actually plays out,
life, right?
and it does it the way it's supposed to.
Yes, the other day, CMoney was, a little devastated because I was talking about The Notebook, and we're talking about Ken, right? Because Ryan Gosling from The Notebook plays.
You're talking about Barbie.
From the Barbie movie, right?
Yep.
So Ryan Gosling plays Ken in the Barbie movie, and we were talking about The Notebook and how he's with someone else, and he's like, but he's supposed to be with Rachel McAdams. Like, is The Notebook? And I'm like, normally it doesn't turn out that way, but Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher are like the Notebook of this type of.
It literally is because they went separate ways.
They did.
Right? Ashton Kutcher married Demi Moore.
Yes, he did. And,
Bruce, what's his name? Bruce
Willis's ex-wife.
Bruce Willis's ex-wife?
Yes. So they were married and everything. And then, like, life just brought them back together.
Yes.
Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. Jackie and freaking Michael together again in real life, having children. How awesome is that?
It's so dope, especially when you watch the 90's show and they make in the first episode, whatever, they make that kind of guest appearance. They're both there. It's so dope.
And as expected, Jackie comes in yelling at Kelso, which is like epic. Thank you. That's all we want to hear. Jackie yelling at Michael Kelso. Right. And
absolutely.
In the show, again, they were my favorite. And the crazy thing, fun fact, is that he was her first kiss, like in real life, in the show.
Yep.
Yes. So her real life first kiss was with him in the show. That's
so
epic.
When you first started watching this show, obviously we were very young.
We were.
In comparison to where we are now in life. Right. So what did you first take away from the show? Like when I first saw the show, I didn't quite understand what they were doing in the basement.
In the basement. Oh my gosh. I didn't know what was in those brown bags. Okay. I didn't know what Hyde was like, are they smoking
cigarettes?
Okay. They were, I thought it was a fog machine. All right. I didn't know exactly what they were getting into, but it all falls into place. As you get older, you understand, that it's not a smoke machine. And that they were insinuating that other things were taking place in that basement, right?
They were getting
Obviously, they were getting high. They were smoking pot or whatever they were doing. And
definitely pot.
Yes. And that's why they were always out of it, right? And it
was so wild because like that's the first time that I remember really seeing it. In like such
in a TV,
like an accepted way, like it was just what they were doing. Obviously, they were hiding from the parents and stuff, but it was still like it was dope. It was so funny.
It was.
They always said the craziest crap when they did that circle. Everybody sitting at the table and it does that.
The spinning, it was so cool to see the camera just going around like that, and then it will go and then sometimes turn back into to someone else. And I vividly remember like watching that scene when Eric goes upstairs and he runs into his mom and he's high as a kite, right?
Facts.
And she's talking to him and he's just seeing her because it's Kitty, right? Like, come on. And Red always trying to put his foot up someone's ass.
Always, constantly. Always with the threats.
Always with the threats.
So,
which never worked because these kids were out there still doing their thing.
Still doing it.
Taking the car without asking, smoking pot, stealing the beer. So they were out there being kids, and obviously Red, as much as we saw him as a badass who was intimidating, it's like, oh damn, he's gotta put his foot up his ass. It's kind of like, it didn't really work because Eric was out there acting a fool, you know?
Yeah, it didn't stop him.
It never stopped him
from doing
his
anything
thing,
crazy.
you know?
But it was cool because the cast itself was pretty dope. There was like everybody was pretty cool. Obviously, you know, the guy Hyde was in there, and he turned out to be not a good person.
No.
Right, in real life, right? So we're gonna, you know, not worry about him too much.
Those are the things like that kind of like put a spin on things where you can
like on your memory of it, almost like Smallville. Oh shit, I forgot to put Smallville in here.
Smallville, such a good show, and I love this so much. But now, like, I feel like I need to give it a lot more time because some things came out about one of the characters, and it's funny, Chloe, because I wasn't necessarily attached to Chloe. One of the best seasons was, I believe, season 9. She wasn't a part of it, and she came back for season 10. It's kind of like, yo, that was the best season ever. So like internally, I had some type of problem with with Chloe, the character, right? So overall, it turned out that she was doing some shady things, and it's kind of like you kind of can't watch the show after hearing that. Without making a connection to her real life and what she was, doing.
Which sucks because there's a lot of people who made that show. She was just a small part of it. And it does kind of taint it, which 70s show the same thing, right? Like this guy kind of, was a bad person.
Exactly.
And now it kind of has that
cloud over it. Where, you're hearing the jokes and you're watching the show and it's kind of like, man. But so let's leave that character aside. Let's get back to like the real essence of the show.
Absolutely.
Because there was so much good there. So when you first watched the show, what character pulled you? Like what relationship? Like who drew you into the show?
That's a good question because I think right off the rip, it was Jackie and Kelso. Because they were like kissing and they were doing stuff. I was young. It was cool to watch them. It was like, all right. But yeah, they were like the main ones in the very beginning. And then as you kind of watch the show, you develop how you like other people in the show, right? Like Fez turned out to be one of my favorite characters.
Fez
and I love the fact that he's in the 90s show and he's like he's really in it. But he was so funny. That scene where he's sitting with Red at the table and Red is trying to get him to say America.
Yes.
He keeps saying America. America. He's like, no, America. America. Say Eric. And Fez is like, Eric.
Super like proper.
And then he just went right back to saying America.
Yes.
Yo, it was just so funny. Like that's just some random shit, but it like stuck with me so hard.
Yeah.
Do you have like anything that like just you think of that show and just think of a moment that just makes you laugh?
Okay, so Jackie broke up with Kelso. I believe it's like the end of season 3, beginning of season 4 or something. I think the end of season 3. Anyway, so this guy is running around with a guitar singing to Jackie. And the freaking lyrics. And it's just like freaking hilarious. Kelso out there pouring his heart out. Because you know who Kelso was, right? Always lying, always sneaky and whatever. Yep. So into his looks. And it was like, I think at some point, something happened. And like, it was obvious. Like, you felt bad, clown. And he's like, my eye. Like, it was always his eye that he went back to. Somehow he was hurt. Always throwing a tantrum. And I don't know, dude, the magic of that cast. But I believe that what first pulled me into the show was like, I don't think it was Jackie and Kelso. It was Eric and Donna. The fact that I remember that scene vividly when they're laying on top of the
hood.
And
of the car.
they're hanging out. They were always playing basketball, and he liked her, but he's so timid and like
And
she always
so skinny
yes, she
and
always beat
small.
him at everything.
She was a
always
tree next to this guy.
Better at everything than he was, basketball, everything. So it's like I don't know. It was something so innocent there, where it's like.
You kind of saw the relationship develop.
Yes,
and
you
grow.
wonder where that was going to go. Will he ever have the guts to tell her? Or will they ever end up together? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
always Kitty and Red will pop in and kind of disturb the situation. You know what I mean?
You know, this show is, as what you're saying this stuff, I'm like, man, we should just rewatch the 70s show.
I agree, 100%.
It's definitely worth it.
Now,
G Maybe, what's good, fam? How we doing, brother?
Welcome. We're on the 70s show right now.
He missed our Ryan Gosling reference.
Oh, G Maybe.
You know, it's part of our thing where we always have to reference Ryan Gosling at some point. We're like contractually obligated at this point to do it.
So I have a question for you, though.
Sure.
Was there any, because I have a side character for me that was like everything. This guy was hilarious. So for me, it was Leo. Was that his name? The
pothead.
Yes, the pothead.
Yes.
Did you see a guy run with one shoe or something like that?
No. It's the scene when he gets pulled over.
Ossifer is what he calls the police officer. Yo.
Oh my God.
So good. It's funny because he did Dancing with the Stars, and it was like, obviously he's older, and it's like, it was such a mess, but it was so good to see him out there because he's slightly has that aura of airheaded, you know?
Well, you gotta remember, he played Leo, but he's Cheech and Chong,
Yes.
the little guy and him.
Yes.
They're like the original potheads.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
They brought it in. So,
Absolutely. They
wonder-
actually sell their gummies. I see it on Twitter constantly and ads. Yeah, absolutely. It's him and the little guy.
So I wonder
In ads.
if that's how he ended up in the 70s show. Was it because they're like, yo, we can't do a 70s show where these kids are sneaking around
without the
smoking
granddaddy of
pot.
potheads,
Yes.
Of course.
Right?
Absolutely. G Maybe says, dang it, I missed him. You know?
Wipe that tear away.
It's all right. It's all right.
We'll
You're here
back
now.
around to Ryan Gosling. You
never know. You never know. There's always time for Ryan.
Always.
Oh my God. So how many seasons was this? Was it 9? Or was it 10?
So this show had a lot of hiccups. And the fact that they were able to kind of continue, and I would love to hear your take on this.
Okay.
You have a full cast, right?
Yes.
And then magically, some of them are
Topher
over
left, right?
Yeah,
No, Ashton Kutcher left first.
But Topher left too. I'm not sure which one of them left first.
I think it was Ashton because he was famous.
Yeah, and then
he was doing Dude, Where's My Car? And the other.
And
other
by the
movies.
way, I don't know if he doesn't seem to have that personality to be able to deliver such an airheaded character so well.
Well, he did it so well when he was probably when he was younger. That's who he was.
It was so good, dude. It was so good.
You got to remember, these were literal, they were young. How old was weren't they early 20s or late teens?
So it ranged, right? Because I think some of them were quite a little older, But again, Jackie was the youngest one. And she was 13, 14.
No, I think she lied.
Yes,
Wasn't she 12?
Did lie. Yes, she lied
12.
to them about how old she was so that she can get on the show. And this is the thing. This is the time we come from, okay? You got to lie, and there was no records looked into. You just got away with it.
You don't need your birth certificate.
We don't need anything
I believe
else.
you. You look 14.
You got it.
Ask R. Kelly if that's a way of doing business.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. But it was a different time. And the fact that she just lied and, said what she said, and look at where her life is now.
Her career. She's made really good movies.
Yes, I like Mila Kunis.
She's in a lot of funny movies.
Yes, she was the one with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, Friends with Benefits.
That was
really good. She was in the one with the tall guy from How I Met Your Mother. Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh my gosh, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Fucking amazing.
It's amazing,
Fucking
you guys.
amazing movie.
That was so good.
Absolutely.
That was hilarious. And it's
movie.
funny because that guy that you're speaking about, I can't remember his name, but I feel like he was for a very small amount of time in some really good movies, and then he kind of like stopped. And he's
the guy from Forgetting Sarah Marshall from How I Met Your Mother.
And
he made a bunch of movies.
He did. He's actually on an Apple TV show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
he did that show with
amazing,
Harrison Ford.
You guys, we did him and a
Shrink?
Mike. Yes, Shrinking,
Shrinking,
something like that. So he's a shrink,
something like that.
And it's just, I don't know. You just fall into. I'm gonna put the trailer in our Discord so you guys can check it out and see if it calls you.
For sure. And while we're talking, the chat, if you guys have any pop out moments of 70s show, put it in the chat.
Jump
so
right in,
can,
you guys.
we can talk about
and
it.
don't forget to hit that like button. That'll be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Hit the like button to your friend. I like it. So Mila Kunis was in a lot of stuff. You know, they all, you know, it's funny. I think we were talking about it before, and they all kind of ended up doing
well.
A bunch of things.
Yes.
Like, remember, Fez was Handy Manny.
He was on the Disney Channel, you guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was in those 5-0.
Jason Segel. Yes,
that's his name. That's him. So he's funny. But I feel like, he's in that show, and I'm like all in again with him. I feel like I didn't see him around too much, and then it's like,
he needs to be in something else. He's a funny guy. He's just so tall. Really tall.
But see, you talk like they don't level out the cameras when they're doing
I know they manipulate
these
it,
shots,
but he
right?
looks like a giant. So Fez, he also did, I don't know if you remember, for a while they had a show on, I think, MTV, and it was called like Yo Mama. Or it was about mama jokes.
Yes.
Like I
remember the name
show was
when
about
you
mama
said
jokes,
it, but
and he hosted that show.
Yes. He also was in those I don't know the names exact, but 5-0, like those action shows, like
Hawaii 5-0, I think.
Yes. So he did that for a long time.
But he never did anything huge. Like he didn't get huge,
get like a
but he rolled his
movie or anything.
He rolled his fame, and he's still chilling.
Yeah.
You know, he just got 90's show, so.
Yeah, he's in there.
They're coming out with another season.
He's really good in there. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, like, we got super into it. At first, we were a little skeptical. And again, we did Her, Him, and a Mike of the 90s show. And we talked about how it took a bit of time, you know, to get into the characters. But like,
they ended up being really good.
It ended up being really good. And it was like 9 episodes. It's like, it's crazy what they give us now versus what they gave us then.
Agreed.
You know, and the character development that we got to see and how we got to connect to these characters because there was so much more content, you know?
It's just a different time, man. People don't want to spend that much time watching one thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to kind of get to the point and move on. And that's why a lot of these shows, they're just short run.
Well, I mentioned to you about how it's, you know, I was essentially looking for actual like trailers of every show, but back then they didn't do that. And then it dawned on me, like, you had to kind of like be in front of the TV waiting for your show to come on, and if you weren't there, you missed it. And it was that simple, you know. And it's great that with technology we're able to have these shows.
Dude, can you imagine kids now? Like, if you could take them now and then take them back in time.
Oh my God, they're loose
and then just drop them there, like enjoy.
Like no cell phone, and then on top of it,
bro, they'll go crazy.
If you weren't there to pick up the phone, you missed the call, and that was it. And then there was, for a while, there was no like answering machine, and it's kind of like, if you really want to get in touch with somebody, just let the phone ring for like 30 minutes and just go at it, or hang up and call back and hang up and call back. It's just a different time, but it was.
Really was.
I love that time for what it was. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Yeah, very different time, but it was our time.
Yes.
It was a good time.
You know where I saw Donna from the 70s show? She was in that Netflix
Orange is the
New Black. And I got super into it for a while. I watched quite a few seasons.
Well, let's not forget that Master Chief is in Orange is the New Black.
No way. Okay, so that was before. I didn't even
He was the guard. He was kind of like that, like the the bitch guard. He was like a pricky guard.
Yeah. Okay. So don't even remind me because
he ramped himself up for Master Chief. I'll tell you that much.
I really like the show, the Halo show, and if he was like an asshole in Orange Is the New Black, I don't know how I'm going to see him.
Yeah, he was the cop, and I think he's the one who got the girl pregnant.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
G maybe says, what do you mean I only have 6 channels?
Exactly.
Yo, oh my God. You used to turn it, and then it was like this. Oh my God. I remember my grandma had it was like this big, yo.
It's crazy.
A TV. Yo, your phone is probably bigger than this TV screen now.
With the lump in the back too, by the way.
Big ass, stupid ass antennas, black and white. You have to turn it, try to find the signal. Oh my God, what a world that was.
What a crazy mess that
All the young people just like turn this off.
Idea. They're like, what are they
These guys are talking nonsense, reporting us to YouTube. These guys are lying, spreading false information. There was no such small TVs.
Gosh,
there was.
They would lose their mind in that
crazy time, dude.
There was also a wire, so the phone was connected. Okay, so if you couldn't go,
you could only walk so far if you wanted privacy. You better hope you could turn a corner and go to a closet or something real quick.
Shut the door. The wires is.
Oh my God, that's wild.
The good old days.
It's crazy because, like, I feel like we're not old.
I feel like we're not, but when
so
you make these
old because when you think about the time, like, come on, dude. I don't know if there's ever going to be, I don't know how, I don't think there's anybody who can live through as many changes
as we did. Right? I feel like it was a perfect time, though. Like, it was a perfect time.
We got to experience everything.
We got to experience not having the technology and then seeing it advance so quickly. You know, either you, like, people before our time missed it or couldn't. Like, they're not that they couldn't, but a lot of them were not willing to allow their brain to learn the technology. I feel like it was kind of like you're just stuck in your ways and you don't want. I feel like we grew up just at the right time.
I agree. I think
with it.
I honestly feel like it was the perfect time.
Yes, except for like I feel like we deserved, you know, YouTube to be popping at
That's
our
the only
time,
problem
though.
that sucks because like we would be.
Oh, we would have been all up on YouTube.
We would have been all up on that shit, yo, from the beginning. We would have been the OGs, yo.
Seriously.
But there's, you know, it's funny though, but we were there from the beginning. It's just that we didn't know. We didn't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, kids that grew up now know it.
Yes. We were still too young. And see, it's the generation right before that doesn't expose you to it. So, like, kids that were just a little younger than us.
Didn't it come out like right when the first iPhone came out, like around there?
But the thing is that kids
right when we got married
with younger parents at that time, kids with younger parents, that's who that was for. That's who got to like enjoy and really grow with it, you know?
Yeah, that's jacked up.
Man, we got cheated.
Yeah, we did. But listen, I wouldn't change it.
Because our lives would have ended up in different situations. So
G maybe says, then the TV got heavy as hell, made of solid wood. Yo, you remember they were like these big ass blocks that were just sitting on the floor.
There was a freaking reason that they were stuffed with old technology
big
and
ass
wiring,
bulbs and shit.
It was crazy.
That's crazy. And now we have TV on like
so
thin panels. Look at this watch. I can watch something on there. You know what I'm saying? That's
insane.
Crazy.
See, but it all comes back. Like, you will watch something on your watch, right? And it's small, but the definition is so crisp that it's okay that it's that small.
Yes.
So I understand why you wear glasses. For you to be
I'm a victim of my age,
right?
of my time.
Because the thing is, if you are into video games in that time, it's like, it wasn't fair. It wasn't right. It wasn't right. But it is what it is. But the 70s show.
But we're not as old as the 70s show, meaning
we are not.
We're not from the 70s. So, you know, we didn't go that far.
We can say that at least, right?
Yeah, we can say that.
But then again, you know, we're not. There's the other group that says we're not as old as the people from the 80s. And then, we're not 90s.
No, those are just people.
My gosh.
Man, you know, it's funny. I was listening to somebody. I forget who it was and where I was. But they were like, you know, I was born in 2001.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm like, Damn, bro.
Get
You
your
didn't even know what
pacifier. Get your
Y2K
pacifier.
scare.
Oh my gosh,
We thought the
Y2K
world was
scare.
gonna end, bro.
We did.
We thought it was gonna end.
Crazy. Listen, I didn't even make it. I was like, it be what it be. Good night. We'll see what happens when I wake up. You know what I'm
I was
saying?
awake
You were
for it.
freaking out?
Oh yeah, we were losing our shit. And the
you
crazy thing is,
serious?
G maybe
didn't
says he's
buy
from the
into it.
70s. Oh, he was born in 75.
Woo! See, right in the middle.
Oh, look at that. Perfect. Right in the
Yeah.
center of it. See, when you're born in like the middle or later,
I feel like it's like
you're like, right there. Right there.
shade, throwing shade.
So yeah,
Throwing shade at me.
year 2000. Year 2000, right before Y2K, we were losing our minds. I was at my stepfather's house
Okay.
with my mom, and we were with his family, and well, I mean, not his house, his family's house.
Yeah.
And dude, we were all counting down the ball, just shit, like terror. Like if somebody was recording it,
That's crazy.
like we were just all afraid, like, oh my God, 10. Like we never did it like that before. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, everybody's like 10, 9. No, this time it was like, oh my God, 10.
Oh my gosh,
9,
so that's crazy.
8.
Okay. So that was a totally different experience for me. I was just like, all right.
But you know what's messed up?
c'est la
The
vie.
lights flickered.
They did. Oh my gosh.
We thought it was over because it said
guys are
0,
such
and then
handsome clown.
all the lights turned off,
Yeah.
and then turned back on.
It's
And
crazy
it was like,
for me to hear this.
Are we alive? We thought we were gonna explode or some shit. People thought God was gonna come and take your soul. It was wild. It was wild.
That's crazy.
First day of the year? Gee, maybe you're a New Year's baby?
Oh my gosh. That's
so he's a
quite
January
awesome.
baby.
That's awesome.
We have three January
Three of our
babies.
kids are January babies.
Yes.
That's a good month.
Madman
It's a January
is
baby.
a January baby.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
That's because he did not want to get out. He was
did
there
not.
for, instead of 40, Madman was like, I'm high. He was there for 42 weeks. And
Yep.
then they were like, all right,
Seriously.
you got to get out.
Seriously. This
Pack
shit
up
was
your
wild.
shit and go. All right?
You are not welcome. You're being evicted. All right? Get your shit together. Oh, that kid is wild.
He's funny.
Oh, good times, man. Good times.
Anyways.
So, 70s show.
70s show.
A lot of good times.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Anything final about the 70s show in your head that's like, I don't know, that's calling you to say?
I mean, I wish they had not left. I would have loved to have seen how the
Like a
show
good
would
conclusion
have turned
with
out,
everybody.
right? And that was my question. How do you feel about, these actors? And I understand, sometimes you have to move on. But the way things were back then, right? If you united, kind of like, Friends, right? They stuck it through. And it's like, it could be just that much more success. And it could, you signed up for it, you know what it was. And it was a different time. I understand now things normally, if you get a job at a sitcom, it's like, this might flop tomorrow, right?
I don't think anybody gets a job now thinking they're going to get on a show that's going to last 10 years.
Seasons. Exactly.
That was like a benchmark before. Now it's like,
then,
you got 3 seasons? Great.
You're
Good
doing
for
amazing.
you.
Yes.
It's probably your last season.
That's the thing. So, I feel like at that time, if you signed up for it, you know what you signed up for. Especially these younger kids that was like their first break into doing something. Man, how are you going to do the people that put you through? How are you going to do them like that?
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes
You have to do
you got to
you.
be Justin from NSYNC or Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just
Spread your
gotta
wings
go.
and go.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Sometimes you're just being held back. Look at Camila Cabello.
Yes.
You know what I'm
From
saying?
That group, Fifth Harmony.
That group was dope.
Yeah,
they were
it
popping.
was.
They were actually popping. They were on the rise. And she said,
Yes.
"Stay down, bitches."
I know.
I'm out this
peacock.
bitch.
I'm a peacock. All right, you gotta let me fly.
Shit.
But yeah, I get that. But that was risky because that group was doing really well. I mean,
Yeah, they were doing really well.
Yeah.
But she just she nailed it, dude. She's fire.
Yeah.
She's fire. She did really
Her
good.
voice, though, is also so
it's unique.
It's special, so.
And she had that nice, good fake relationship with Shawn Mendes.
Yes.
Because we now know he's...
I don't know.
Isn't he gay?
I don't know.
I thought he was gay.
Did he call you and tell you something like that?
Maybe I'm mistaken.
That.
But
I missed the memo.
But yeah. So now, you know what the other thing I feel like is... I don't know if it's happened recently, so maybe you can fill me in.
Okay.
But it was also a time where you can switch a character, like right in front of people's faces. Like,
well, because
that's not the person. No. Well, hold on, what happened?
Listen, and that's what having that type of television can do. Like, you saw it, but you didn't really see it, so it didn't really bother you.
Yeah.
It did need that time. You did need 20-something episodes to connect to these characters because you can barely see them. Okay? And that was the problem. So I don't think they do it.
That's also a really crazy thing.
You have to man up to it.
When you watch those shows back in the day and then you watch them now, like, we're going to talk about Friends, but in Friends, there was like a whole season or something that Rachel was wearing like this Band-Aid.
Yeah, and you see it now.
And now you can see it, but I never saw that before.
Because
you never have seen it. It's
the
crazy.
definition was so low and they got away with, making it seem seamless, but what was seamless then is not anymore. So it's a different time.
Absolutely.
Can't get away with that.
Yeah, so Purple Berries is calling back to Fez saying,
Yes.
oh my God, he was Handy Manny?
Yes, he was.
He didn't know.
He was.
Oh, man.
He was really good in that show. And, I play that show for the kiddos. It was cute.
Yeah.
It was cute. You got to get the jobs that you can get. I'm not sure I don't know what he made in there. Disney money. It's not as big as it sounds. It's like Disney's almost like a
we learned from
leeway,
Jake Paul that Disney doesn't really pay
they
you.
kind of just say, well, you get to be on Disney.
Exactly.
And it's
and
crazy.
you have to make something with that fame.
Exactly.
And
because
some people do, some people don't.
The crazy thing about it, it's like you think of Disney and you're like, oh, you must be banking because it's Disney, right? They got that Disney money.
No, it's all an
the reason
illusion.
why they got that Disney money is because they keep that Disney money.
They do.
Tied to that wallet.
G maybe says Red was a funnier version of my grandfather.
Yo, Red was hilarious.
Red was so dope. He is still dope because in the new show he's good too.
And he's terrorizing. He walks into a room again. Didn't work with the kids that he was terrorizing, but to us it was like, damn, Red is gonna put his foot up his ass soon. This is coming.
Yep.
I waited for that more. I was like, yo, when is it gonna happen? Like, I'm like, dude, at some point, this guy gotta come through. You can't keep making promises that you're not keeping. You know, I wouldn't have mind watching an ass whooping because Eric did do some stupid shit. You know?
It's like you really did just wonder, like, are they going to show it?
Right? Like,
is he going to kick his ass so hard?
At what point are these threads going to come through for us for entertainment reasons? You know?
I think that's the first time where I was like, that shit ain't real. Because my mom would have beat my ass.
She will beat your ass.
She would have beat my ass.
That's the thing. They don't, it was a big deal to react that way to your children in an episode or in a show. Like, that was monumental, kind of. Like, you know what I mean? Everything was like Fuller House. It's like, all right, well, circle of trust. Let's sit down.
Oh my God.
What did you do? You burned down little Timmy's house?
Oh my God.
Don't do it again, okay? And then now let's hug it out. All right? You can't.
The way that shit would be where it's like
Such
the
nonsense.
music. He would go to their room,
CMoney was out there
sit down.
thinking that was real.
I was living that. I was like, no, I didn't think that was real. I knew it wasn't real in my house. But I was like, I want to live in that house, okay? I need to find me a white daddy. They talk to their kids. My mom is mean.
Oh my God. That show was so full of crap.
Oh my God.
Misinforming these
Such
kids.
lies. Such lies.
It's crazy.
We still have to finish Fuller House. I don't care.
Oh, I can't. No, you
We
can't.
have to.
Listen, okay. So we started Fuller House. First of all, I was not a fan of Full House. I never went down that route.
Full House was amazing.
It was really not. But anyways, that happened in Fuller House. You all talked me. Well, you did. like
me?
Oh
The
my
kids
gosh!
did.
No, C-Money. Keep it real. That
False.
was you, yo. You were like, yo, we're about to watch Ruler House.
I mean, I said I mean, I did.
You mad
I'm just saying that the kids wanted to see it, to see
After you
what
had a
I used to watch.
conversation and you said,
I'm
hey,
just saying,
we're
but they
about to
still wanted
watch
to.
this because I used to watch the original show.
Look,
You know?
look. All right, you want to think about that?
What?
Purpleberry
We
says,
must.
Doodle, we must
Exactly.
watch it.
No, she said we must is what C-Money said.
No. She's saying
No.
to you, we
She's
must.
saying Doodle. What C-Money saying is we must watch it. We
No.
have to watch
Barry,
it.
You know where you're screwed because Barry really wants to watch it. Go ahead, Barry. Tell her the truth.
Oh,
Doodle,
we must finish.
whatever happened to predictability?
I ain't watching that shit, okay? You can't make
You
me.
don't watch this
You
shit with
can't
us.
make me.
God damn it.
Yo, it got crazy. I was in for the ride. I was like, this is a load of nonsense that I'm sitting here watching. But for the love of my familia, I must do it. Okay? So I said, I'm going to sit here and watch this stuff. All right? So I watched all this nonsense play out, singing, dancing. I'm like, is this a freaking circus? Turns out it
is
wasn't.
false.
It was
It is
Fuller
like a
House.
false narrative. It is a false narrative.
And they took it too far when they changed the writers. And there was this ring that fell into a pond, and the fish caught the ring, jumped over, tossed it at her, something like that. I was like,
remember
yo,
that.
this is cracked out. I'm not with it.
Listen,
I can't do
Purple
this.
says the milkman, the paperboy. Right? And evening TV. G maybe says, my grandmother kept the frying pan handy
Hell
as
yeah.
an equalizer.
Hell yeah.
Yo, she's gangster.
La chancleta.
Yo,
All
the hanger, bro.
When that chancleta got you good, that burn, yo. That
And you don't want
burn.
to catch the wrong side of a belt.
Oh, no. Mm-mm, those hurt.
Not nice.
Those.
Not nice. But I agree. I will say, I now looking back at how the kids react to Bluey and
Yes.
those parents that apparently have millions of dollars and don't
nothing
need
else
to
to do in
actually
life.
work,
Yes.
no motivation, just to sit there and play
Yes.
these stupid ass effing games with these little shits that keep telling them to do stupid ass shit. Dance in the middle of the street because I have a button? Go f yourself, a little boy or a little girl, whatever you are, you damn dog. I ain't dancing to shit. What's wrong with you?
You know what's funny? We're the ones out there dancing and preparations like, what you doing?
Yeah, I know. I mean, now to the old ones would do it, but the little ones, they think that shit is real.
Well, they think it's like an all day thing.
Yeah.
And like,
Wanna play
Bluey-
statue with me? No. I want to just stand there like a statue. I got shit to do. What's wrong with you? Fucking Bluey, this damn dog. Somebody needs to snipe this little bitch. The fuck off the TV, yo. Damn.
Bluey
Oh
is
my God.
definitely a bad
Don't put, if,
situation.
if you're looking to have kids,
Listen,
get Bluey out of your
don't
life,
put
bro.
Bluey on
F that
because
kid.
it's crazy.
Damn dog.
Yeah, they
They're
definitely
playing
do.
the father and the brother are going to play that handball or racquetball,
Yes,
whatever, and they have to
yes.
get controlled
By the yes.
kids and do stupid shit because like they're playing a real game and it's like, oh, I gotta run against the wall because my kid wants me to run
Press
against the
a
wall.
button. Yeah,
Outta here.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but
That's wild.
that's the thing, and that was, essentially Fuller House
It was
right there.
It was.
A
I get
freaking
that.
mess.
I get when I compare it. I'm like, oh wow, the false. The
Advertisement.
falsities that it's giving to
Yes.
these kids to think that we're just going to talk about it like that.
Yeah, like
nah.
you're gonna leave school and do some crazy crap, and we're just gonna sit in a
Smoking
circle.
cigarettes with your friends.
Not
We
nice.
caught you. Don't do it again, okay? Okay, Papa. No. F that. She maybe says she gifted one to my wife when we got married. Told her it wasn't for cooking.
Yes.
She was like, this is the only way my little G maybe understands things, okay? So you use this on him.
Damn right with this Ryan, man. Yo, that's amazing.
Heat it up
That's
for some
freaking-
extra sauce, all right? Heat it up. He'll really learn his lesson, all right? No worries.
Can you imagine? Eat it up. Or you whooped his ass.
Oh, child abuse when it was you and you were young in school. You know, it's like, what the fuck, yo? Isn't it wild? How did they get away with that shit?
Right? Because I remember.
And you're too scared to say anything. I remember when I first heard somebody say, yo, I remember I first heard somebody say that they're not supposed to hit you and that you can call the cops on them. And one time, I did some stupid shit and my mother was coming. I was like, hey, you can't hit me. I'll call the cops. She was like, fucking call them, baby. And she fucking went to town. I was like, I can't call it. I lied. Not call it. Oh, God. What happened? 90s and 2000s life hoods.
Crazy. Yo. So you got a beating that day?
Well,
listen.
I never threatened to call the cops again.
That teachers were able to whoop your ass if you acted disrespectful at school.
Yeah.
But it's crazy though. The thought that someone can no.
Ain't that wild?
No. Touch my kid. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. We're gonna really fight.
That's hilarious.
That's crazy though.
It's
but
hilarious.
like teachers could do that back then.
Absolutely.
Anyways.
All right. Well, I think from there, it only makes sense to go to George Lopez.
Yes.
Because there was some beat downs in that house. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. As he says on his handout, ¡Mal puto! George Lopez is freaking hilarious.
Oh my God.
He's so funny, yo.
He really is.
I am so annoyed because his show was so good. And I think it fell into the whole transition into reality TV. And his show was like a little later, right? And it was at a time where people were starting to really get into reality TV. And I think he said it on an interview. It's like people are rather watch, other people live their lives and watch reality TV than to watch the sitcoms that, we're making. So I think his show got affected by that. And I'm not going to lie. I love reality TV.
She does.
To watch that freaking train just, it's freaking entertaining. So yes, sign me up. All of it.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But
G maybe says, Bob Saget went from most foul-mouthed comic ever to America's Dad.
Right?
That pretty much summed up the fiction.
Isn't that crazy, though? That when you're sitting there casting, this is who you bring in.
Like, how did you think that this made sense?
To have this,
And I didn't even know.
No.
Because I only knew him as Danny.
Yes. And then you would hear some of the stand-up and you're like, that's not the same guy?
Yeah, because then he did America's Funniest Home Video for a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was doing it at the same time, actually. But, I didn't know that he was a comic, till I was a grown person.
Yeah. I didn't know that either.
I had no idea. But then when I heard him, and he was, cursing and saying, all these crude things, it was like, what the Danny?
Why?
What happened
to you?
What happened to your family and your values?
If you need help, all right?
Did Uncle Jesse abandon you?
Yeah.
What happened?
I think Uncle Jesse, I think he's the one that really, in my opinion, I think I would say that he's the one I've seen around the most.
Well, he became regular famous.
Yes.
He was in a lot of other shows. I don't think he ever got movie famous. Did he make any movies? Maybe a couple.
I think I've seen him in Hallmark movies, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Got it. That's...
Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. Yeah. That checks out. So in George Lopez, I got to say, that was a genuinely funny show.
Yeah.
It was just funny. The way he was with the family was crazy.
Yes.
And everybody who was in there was pretty good. The mother was funny.
Yes.
She was
always giving him crap.
Always giving him
his
shit.
His best friend was freaking hilarious.
Yep.
Always at his house. And then her father used to give him so much shit. And it's
yep.
It all checks out. You know what I mean?
And then I feel like I'm remembering an episode where they were outside and it was like with the daughter. I don't remember what the episode was about, but I remember it was something like it's like some
disciplining taking place.
Somebody was getting in trouble, but it's just funny how he did everything. And like that's my big takeaway from that show. Like every time we put it on, it was just gonna be funny.
Yes, and I also like the fact that there were those episodes where he went and sat and talked to like his mother about how things were, right? And it got like deep and real, and it's like, you know, it didn't
like real, not like Full House real,
not like that. It didn't shy away from like being confrontational and getting emotional. I love that. And Sandra Bullock was behind that show. Like she was in some of the episodes as well. She was working in the company that either he worked for or he owned or something like that.
Wasn't like a garage or something?
No, he had. It was like they made things. I don't remember exactly, but like she worked there, and it's like she even came on the show, which was super cool. And you know, I love Sandra Bullock, so it's like.
Miss Congeniality.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Fucking phenomenal movie.
So the thing is, like, I feel also, you know, as hilarious as he is, and as much as I love George Lopez, I think that part of his personal life kind of creeped into, you know, the work that he was doing, because he also got a late night show. And then it came out that, like, you know, because it was, I think it was his wife, he had kidney failure or something like that, and his wife gave him one of her kidneys, right? So, you know, he always put that forward, and he always like gave her credit for that, right? And it's like, then you find out that he was like cheating on her with a bunch, like hiring hookers and all this other crap. And it's like, then they went through a divorce, and his, like, he wasn't on the late night show anymore, and like his life started shifting. He did a recent stand-up on Netflix, and I didn't feel the same George, you know what I mean?
No, because he's like defeated.
Yes, and now he has a show, and I believe it's
Lopez
versus
show?
Lopez. Yes, and I feel
that's
like
his real life daughter.
Yes, I think she is, and I think that they get to the root of the situations. Like they talk about, like she felt like he left them and all this other stuff, and I feel like it's like therapy for them to kind of go over everything that that got in between their relationship, you know?
Yeah.
So it's been a ride for him.
It has. You can see, I mean, he was never a good looking, I mean, he definitely wasn't no Ryan Gosling. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not. But G-Mamie knows what we're talking about.
He knows what we're talking about.
But he looks really rough now.
Yeah. And I mean, age will do that to you. I think, but at the same time, you know,
I mean, some more than others.
Some get hit by the age train a little harder than others.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, that one hit him, and then backed up, waited for him to get up, and then
boom again. Bounced off, came back in for more. Yeah, he got rocked, to say the least. You know?
He got found out. Now he can't do nothing.
He can't do nothing. I can't do nothing. Yo, he's freaking funny.
Oh, it was good though. It was really, really, really
good. And
good.
I love the fact, okay, so we go back to like sitcoms, right? Around that time, the George Lopez show. Like, that was it, you know? Like, I don't remember any other sitcoms that were of a, Hispanic family. Right?
I think so.
that was it at that time.
I can't remember one, if there was.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like that wasn't a thing.
No. Yeah. No.
So,
there weren't a lot of options back then if you weren't white.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You had a slim pickings.
Oh, we're going to have to pass on you in this whole situation because,
Yep. It's funny because you look at these things. I don't know how Fez got a job. I mean, I guess because they needed an immigrant.
Yes, right? So
who didn't speak English.
But that's the thing. Like, look, and the crazy thing, you hear him speak. And, I don't hear that. Obviously, he had to go ahead and make that accent. right?
Yes.
And that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't just be, because they also, on top of the accent, he had a lisp, right? That wasn't his as well. So it's like, you guys.
I wonder who came up with the list. Was it him, or did they go to him and say, "Hey, listen, we need you to put on a lisp. We need you to get into it, okay? Because we can still understand you, so you got to add a lisp to just kind of
clear,
make it more difficult,
right?
okay? We don't want anyone to know what you're talking about." All right.
And no one, the crazy thing is that every time he said where he was from, like something would happen and no one ever knew where Fez was from.
Nope.
It was all a mystery.
Always a mystery.
Yeah.
G maybe says that George Lopez had a great face. For animation.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
Oh.
He definitely had that, situation like when you walk through the city and they like anime every part of your like different, like they'll pick something to really animate to like stand out. Well, they went ham. And then they were like, this is your real face now. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
They did.
They did.
But
all right. So we are from one ethnicity. Let's go to the other.
Yes.
Which is Martin.
Holy crap.
I'm the man.
He did everything. Shanae.
Yo, that shit was so funny. I feel like Martin, when I don't think about it now.
Yes.
Right? Like I don't think about it like, oh my God, one of my favorite shows. But when I do think about it, like if I sit down and say it, oh my God, it was hilarious, bro. Yo, the way they would go at each other.
Though.
Yes.
He did so much. Like he plays so many characters and I'm sure a lot of it was just, it wasn't even written. Like it was just, all right, Martin, go at it.
Well, remember we watched they had like that reunion.
Yes.
Oh, remember Tommy died.
Oh man, that was
so they
crazy.
did the reunion and the funeral for him.
Yeah.
On TV, not a real funeral, but they like did a celebration. And they talked about it. Like Martin was like behind pretty much everything, and they would bounce things off for each other. He was really close with the woman who played his wife, who was in My Wife and
Gina.
Kids as well.
Yes.
Gina's another one who didn't age too well.
No, but things happen. Yeah.
But it's like when I say that, I mean like you could see like she tried to do something to change herself a little bit maybe, and it just went wrong.
But sometimes it's just aging. It just gets you. And it gets you good, And then there's a lot of stuff like I think so when it comes to that conversation, like when it comes to Friends, right? Monica, what's her real name? I'm spacing out on her name.
Damn, I don't know why I don't know her name now.
But Monica.
Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox, yes, thank you. Like you can tell that because she was very pretty, but she did a lot. And
she did a lot because of the way that people looked at her compared to Rachel.
Yes, but I think
and she was supposed to be Rachel.
If she just aged in peace.
Yes, she would have been much prettier.
She wouldn't look the way that
she
does now.
But it's this pressure that they put on them in Hollywood, which is crazy. I think
they just need to let it be because I don't know if it's the reaction to certain people. There are a lot of people that get stuff done and like somehow it works, and then other people just I don't know if it's who they use. I don't know what the heck. But like, just don't touch it. Like, just let it be and just age. Keep your millions, whatever, how much you made. And be like, this is how I'm going to go out. And whatever I get, I get. Whatever I don't, I don't.
Yeah, and then start playing a grandma like Diane Keaton, right?
Yes.
Like Diane Keaton, she plays old people all the time.
The
She's making hella movies.
When you start messing with what you got, like they're going to talk crap about that too, right? Because it doesn't look like you.
Yeah, but it's also the time too.
True.
Like that was blowing up, the idea of doing that to your face and all those, plastic surgeries. Mm-hmm. Again, that also came up with us,
Yes,
in Hollywood, that was a new thing that was everywhere.
Because this is the thing. Like, if we all go ahead and, go to a doctor and say, okay, so what's the perfect nose? What are the perfect lips? And like, what's the perfect shape for the face, right? And everybody gets to say, then where are you unique? Where are you special? Like, I don't know. Like, that's something
also,
people shouldn't like mess
stop
with.
trying to compete with young people, dude.
Exactly.
Like
just
you were
be
young
you.
before. You did your young time. You know, you were hot. You were great. Fine, let it be.
For
now
you to, even
you're
if
older.
it works, right?
You're still
and
hot to the older dudes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just
and for you
let it
to
be.
reverse, like try to reverse the time. Like you're still old as like a person. You still have the same birthday. You still live through all those years. Like that's not going to change. You know?
Facts. Actually, we should talk about Cougar Town too.
Oh my gosh, that was a really good show.
That was really good.
With a horrible name, but it's one of those shows that came a little later, and I was able to just sit and just take it all in because it was good.
For sure. So Martin, I think the most memorable thing for me is how he played those characters.
Yes.
You know, Shanae, and when he played that little booger boy.
Oh my God, that was so gross. I still
he
can't
always
get
had that
over
fucking
that.
big ass booger.
That was so
like,
disgusting.
Oh my God, yo.
I still can't I don't know how they made that look that way, but it's just so nasty. But Shanae, though, with all the nails and like, it was just so freaking funny. He got so into it. And you know what's crazy? Like, obviously, it's difficult to find somebody that you gel with when it comes to these sitcoms. And I feel like Martin and Gina, like you felt like they were together. And I feel like it had a lot to do with like maybe how comfortable he made her feel and how playful he was. They had a great relationship.
Well, it was the chemistry, right? Like when we watch back at it, you can see that
she's really laughing at what he's saying.
She's really laughing. Like you can see it in the scenes. Like they're actually laughing. It's like just a chemistry where it wasn't like, no, do your line.
Yeah.
It was like, let's vibe off of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we know what we're talking about as far as the script, but wherever it goes, and let's see it. And they just had fun, dude.
And you see it if you watch like the bloopers or like whatever in some of the in some movies, you see that with some actors. Vince Vaughn is one of those actors. They kind of just let him go, and he says so much stuff, and then they edit around it, and it's like they just let him go, and he just said what he said. That's genius. That's almost like that you have a script, and it's just gonna get that much better when you let that person on the loose.
We seen Vince Vaughn in that new scary movie.
Oh my, he was so good.
Freaky Friday or whatever.
Yes. Oh,
that was really good.
That's like a favorite. He played.
That was really good.
Yeah,
like we're gonna watch it for Halloween time.
Yeah, I can't
it's coming
wait.
Up. Like,
I feel like we should start that whole because by the time you get through things like. So we go hard when it comes to like Halloween is coming up. We're going to watch, Halloween movies and Christmas time. Let's go Christmas movies for a while. But I feel like Halloween sneaks up because
it does.
It's get it? Halloween sneaks up. Scary. No.
Oh yeah. No. We all got that. We all got that. Halaz balls. Halaz balls.
Anyways, but I always feel. Like by the time you break everything up and you're like, okay, we're watching this one and that, it's like, okay, you only got to watch so many movies. And there are so many movies that are like suspense and scary and whatever.
Absolutely. G maybe says, oh, Shintaro, what's good, buddy? He said, hi, Doodle and
Shintaro,
CMoney. What's good, player?
What is up?
G maybe says, yeah, they need to stop that messing with the aging process.
Right?
I'm worried Angelina Jolie will end up looking like a lizard person.
Yo,
she
seriously.
could play a live action Rango. I guess.
Yes. Yo.
It says Freaky Friday was funny.
Yeah, Freaky Friday was hilarious.
Really
I love that movie. We got to watch it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yo, Angelina Jolie, she got hit hard. And it's like, we're talking Angelina Jolie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith was a freaking...
Mr. and Mrs. Smith was so good.
Vince
And
Vaughn
what's
was
crazy
in there too.
is Angelina Jolie was like really pretty.
That's what I'm saying.
And she had like a lot of sex appeal. Like she was like, and then she turned crazy. It turned like a skinny skeleton woman.
Well, I don't know what happened.
She looked like
she wasn't.
She was like a zombie creature.
I don't know what
it was
happened.
crazy.
I think that her relationship with, she was very
Brad
like,
Pitt.
free spirited, and somehow,
Meanwhile,
man,
Brad Pitt looks like a fucking,
like a G, yo.
like his hair.
We saw
fucking,
Brad Pitt in that new
motherfucker
movie
gets
with
better
Sandra
looking
Bullock.
with every year that passes,
what
bro.
was the Treasure Island or something like that?
Something, I think Treasure, the one with Channing Tatum and
Yes,
Sandra
Channing
Bullock.
Tatum and Sandra Bullock.
Yep.
And freaking Brad Pitt made an appearance there. This guy's hair is like flicking from
Like
side to
fucking
side.
golden. It's like, damn.
And mind you, I never saw Brad Pitt because there was like a whole haze around, oh my gosh, Brad Pitt and all this other bull crap. But in that movie,
You were like, I get it.
It's like he looks better older as an older person.
That's the fucked up part about
That's
life.
the thing.
Okay, this is how God plays a trick on the world, right? So women, when they're young, right, they feel beautiful and youthful. It's like, oh, so great, right? But then women get older, and the world tells them like, you're not pretty anymore.
That's crazy.
Because you're not young.
And that's
right?
It shouldn't be dictated by the world.
Of course,
though.
of course. But that's the way that it happens, and women allow themselves to feel that way, right? But then men, it's like the older you get, it's like, damn, look at that gray hair.
What?
It's like what happened?
What's up with
It's a fucking
right
crazy situation.
It's true, though.
Damn.
What are these highlights you got going on?
It's wild, dude.
Yeah.
It's
But
wild.
it's true. Like, okay, the guy looks sophisticated with the grays, and women have to go ahead and gotta start dyeing your hair. Thank goodness. Jesus, I need some wood to knock on. I'm not dyeing my hair yet. So thank goodness. But it's like,
where is it? I don't dye it. That's okay.
it's all right.
I wear my gray stripes.
You got hit first.
I'll take
but,
it. I take it.
Hopefully.
That's like plywood. Not gonna help
I need
nothing.
some real. I need to go and break. I'm gonna go outside with an axe
Cut a
and hit
tree
up
down?
a tree.
Got it,
You know what I'm
got
saying?
it.
I gotta solidify that I'm knocking on that wood. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's no joke right there.
Knocking on that wood. Yes, she do be knocking on that wood.
All right.
Surfing on that wood. Yes.
Anyways.
Ma'am. Indeed.
Listen.
I don't know how it always happens.
It always happens. Move it along, Steve. Move it along.
All right. So Martin, again, dope. I would say we also forgot Pam. Pam made it out. She made it out. She's in
the neighbor. So she did.
in the neighborhood.
Everybody Hates Chris, right? That was the name of the show.
She was a mom, right?
Yes, that show ran for quite a while. And
I watched it the first time it came out, and never again.
Yeah, I never got
Zero
into
interest.
it.
That's the one about Chris Rock, right?
I think so.
Well, of course, we shouldn't have watched it because
he got slapped up.
He got slapped like a bitch.
We saw it coming before it happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know what was he expecting Will Smith to do? Walking up the stage like a gangster.
I don't know, like maybe like move out the way. Run,
he fucking slapped him. When that slap happened, oh my God.
Get two-stepping. Yo, he took it like a G though and kept on reading.
He took it like a G, but he was like, in his stand-up, he was like, people keep asking me, did that shit hurt? It was like, of course that shit hurt. He was Muhammad Ali. The fuck do you think?
It took him a while, but he did come out and he did a stand-up. He talked about the slap with we were all wondering if he was going to go ahead and address the situation because everybody else was milking the situation, right? Talk shows, everything. It was talking about that so that they can get, attention and kind of people go and listen and hear it out.
Yep.
He was the only one who kind of took a back seat.
He waited till he can get a bag for it.
I've been assaulted. Cut me that paper. Let me get that check. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
But you don't need the money. You know what I'm saying? So, like, your reputation is more important at that time.
Will Smith is sending out slaps. You better get it right in front of that line.
Bro.
All right?
I might not wake up.
Listen.
Fuck. It's Muhammad Ali, bro. You didn't watch that movie? Fuck. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. It fucking stings you, yo. That shit hurts.
That shit hurts.
Listen,
so the point is, I was like, yo, don't go full in because then they're going to think you're using this for attention. You know what I mean? To kind of like use Will Smith as a way of being funny rather than just putting out your work. And thank goodness he kind of like, he had his stand up towards the end. He addressed it a little bit and kind of moved on. But even like Marlon Wayne,
Yes.
he did it was hilarious.
It was really
yes,
good.
I think that one's like on HBO or Peacock or something like that.
Something like that.
But like
it was
he
really
went
good.
in and his entire hour and change, however long it was, his stand-up was literally about the slap and the Smiths.
But it wasn't just about the slap.
Like
it was about how Chris Rock deserved that slap.
Kind of.
Because of
But
how
then
he
he's
was
like,
a
but
bitch to Marlon Wayans his whole
But
career.
that's like, at the same time, he was saying, like, that's my boy. But it's like, you know, you're an
He was
asshole.
like, but God got me.
Yeah.
That was
So
hilarious.
that's literally, because he's a little, I mean, he's a little bit loose with the words and stuff like that. And the crazy thing is that, and this is why you got to be careful with what you say. Like, you never know how people receive what you say. You can't control everything, but if you're just a little more cautious with what you say to people, like Marlon literally stopped doing stand-up because some of the things that Chris had said and how he made fun of him. And it's like, dude, like he stopped his journey.
The Wayans Brothers show.
Yo, that show was funny.
Come
I
on,
didn't
bro.
get full blown
I
into it. I
love that
think
show.
you did.
I did. That was my
And,
shit.
Yeah, I wasn't like full in it, but I saw episodes here and there.
That shit was so good, bro. So
Marlon was just like the star, bro. Like he
was.
went in.
He
like
was, but they were all
about
so
like
funny.
really jumping into a joke and like delivering, like really just acting out the
funny
situation.
because for so long, I thought he was like super ugly. Like I was just like he was like like the faces he would make.
He will make a lot of faces. He's
yeah,
committed.
but then once he got out of it and like actually looked normal, I was like, oh, he's a normal looking person.
I also think like maybe he put on a bit of weight. He was
That too.
Yeah, and that sometimes is helpful to like.
Well,
fill
he's also in what is it? Don't
Menaces something, right?
Don't be a menace,
Don't be a menace
in
to
South
society
Central
or something.
without jigging your juice in the hood or some shit like that. I forgot. No, it was crazy.
Yeah.
That was funny as shit. Oh my God. That was funny. But so we got all the way out here from Pam being on.
Oh, well, okay. Well, yes, right?
the Chris
This is how
Rock
we
show or
talk. This is
whatever.
how it rolls. This is
how
what
it
we
rolls.
do.
This is what we do.
Pam
These are facts.
now, and obviously
So
we're
she's in
calling
the
her Pam
neighborhood.
because of the Martin show.
Yes,
but she's
and I
in the
don't know her real
neighborhood.
name.
And I love that show. It's super funny.
It's so good with
It's
the guy
really,
from
really
New Girl.
good. Yes.
And obviously Cedric the Entertainer.
Yes.
One of the original kings of comedy.
Amazing.
And randomly the girl from the Two Broke Girls.
Yes. And it's
That was
like
wild.
you see the cast and you're like, okay, well, let's see. But it works. Like they have really good chemistry.
They do.
And
The cast
you
is
know,
really good.
the
It's like
guy-
and the only two people who were like unknowns are his kids.
yes,
The two boys, like the two
the
grown
boys
men.
and they're and Dave's kid
And Dave's little
as
kid,
well.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Who,
you know,
that kid is something
like
else.
Dave moved into the neighborhood with his wife and their son, and it's like he wants to be like best friends
Yep.
with their neighbor who is, you know, Pam and Cedric.
Yeah. So yeah, that show's still going,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not over. So she has a good gig, which is nice. You know, it's
Yes.
nice to see these people have consistent work
I
because you
agree.
just don't know what's going to come from it. G Baby says Chris Rock probably just wanted to be done hosting and just said screw it. That's true.
What do you mean?
He probably didn't want to do the Oscars anymore.
Oscars? Listen, I think that when it comes to those things, and Kevin Hart had this situation, and when people kind of speak out, you get to know a little bit more. Like you got to kind of kiss the ring. You know, you have to fall into place. We talked and we had conversations about how can Ryan Gosling not have an Oscar? How can it have taken
Leonardo
so long
DiCaprio.
for Leonardo DiCaprio to get an Oscar? And there are things like you have to go on a like parading around throughout the award time to fit the mold that they want you in, right? And you got there are things you have to do other than just be a great actor. Is what I'm saying.
Which is sad.
Exactly,
right?
because it should just be your work. I know some people mentioned with Leonardo DiCaprio not being like in a settled relationship and all this other stuff, it could have affected, like, that's his
George
personal
Clooney.
relationship, you know? Exactly.
He took him forever to get married. So did he win an Oscar before that?
I don't know. I don't think so. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
The point is that they want you to get your shit together, and they want you to get it together in the way that they see it fit. Obviously, probably a lot of donations and a lot of things come into play when it comes to that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you remember Martin wasn't he one of the first, I think he was the first person to make a stand-up movie.
Yes.
Run
that
Tell
went
That.
right into theaters.
It was in theaters. He was
I went
the first
to see that.
Yeah?
It was really good.
I don't think I saw it in theaters.
No, you were. I think you were younger. You know, like probably not
You heard
going to
that?
see stand-ups.
I was younger, so I didn't go see a stand-up
Didn't you have a
movie.
pet dinosaur when you were a kid?
How to have a pet dinosaur?
Just saying, implying.
You trying it again with that one? See if it works the second time around.
Damn it, CMoney! All right, damn it! All right.
Oh,
All right.
man. Come on. Okay. So, yes. So, he did that. Martin was in a lot of great movies. See, this is the thing. I love Will Smith, right? And Martin is really tied to Will Smith because of Bad Boys.
Yes.
I've always linked them together. Because that's one of my favorite
But that's the thing, and that's
trilogies.
like,
Or
that's not
two
right
movies.
to say. I feel like Martin Lawrence is Martin Lawrence. If anything, the funnier, the more charismatic person out of the two would be
Was Will
Martin
Smith.
Lawrence. And for talent, are you kidding me? Martin Lawrence. So for you to say, you know, I kind of saw him with Will Smith
was a rapper.
because of Bad Boy. It's
You know what
like,
I'm saying?
you know,
He didn't
Will
just tell
Smith
jokes.
was just loud and obnoxious.
What? Will Smith was nasty.
Listen, you want to talk real? We got it.
We got
All right.
mad good movies. Let's talk about them.
Well, go ahead. If you want to
Will
spend,
Smith?
we will spend hours talking about Will Smith because I ain't shying up.
I'll take it.
All right.
Nice conversation about Will Smith. You're committed to hours talking about Will Smith. I'll take it.
Listen, as long as I am here flipping your mind,
No. It's impossible. Will Smith is the shit.
he's really not.
Hitched? Come on. We watched that
You want to go sleep
9,000
outside?
times. No.
You want to go sleep outside?
No. Will Smith is trash.
That's what I thought.
Trash.
I'm telling you.
Okay, straight up trash. All right, let's keep that clear. No confusion here. You know what I'm saying?
See,
You know what
it
I'm saying?
wasn't such a long conversation after all.
No. You're right. It was
Exactly.
definitely
So
mind
I
changed.
love that we can talk and come to like an agreement with things without, you know,
Absolutely.
this is a nice grown up conversation.
So
Yes.
I think we started with the 70s show. Then we
Yes.
went to like George Lopez, Martin, which were good.
We
But
kind of
now,
did Fuller House.
yeah, Fuller
little
House,
bit.
some of these other things. So, but now this is where some of the ones that I think that realistically speaking, you and I spent
The most
the
time.
most time watching.
Yes.
So I'd say let's jump in to The Office.
Oh my
But-
gosh.
But before that, G Maybe says, didn't
love
Eddie
The
Murphy
Office.
do a stand-up movie first? Are you talking about Raw
That went
and
straight to
Delirious?
theaters?
Was that in the theaters? Maybe it was.
Maybe,
If
I
that
don't know.
was, I was too young to know.
I think the first one you heard about was Martin, and the first one I saw, like, was Martin.
in our
theaters,
time,
yeah.
because Eddie Murphy, I didn't hear about that till way later.
We were married when I first saw Raw because you wanted to see
Yes.
it, and that's how we ended up watching it.
Yeah, Raw and Delirious.
And
That shit was so good,
it was
y'all.
good. You know who else had a good 3-pack comedy, like stand-up? Jamie Foxx.
I was gonna say Jamie Foxx, so underrated. People forget
yes,
that
and
he was
had
a
his own
stand-up, bro.
sitcom as well.
The Jamie Foxx show,
Jamie
yes,
Foxx has done
and that was a
everything,
great show.
yo. He had the sitcom. He can sing.
He can
does
sing like
stand-up.
crazy.
Exactly.
Jamie
he
Foxx
really
is a
pushed
low,
through, and now he's like a
low-key.
great actor. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
like,
Like he made a name for himself.
like a rounded package. He does everything, and he's
Yep.
done everything.
Yeah, 100%.
That's pretty dope. I wonder if he could do a flip.
Can he do a flip? That's the question. If he can't do a flip, then what is
then
it
it's
all
worth
for?
nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
pack it up,
man.
Pack it up and go away.
That's like top tier right there.
And he married Katie Holmes.
No, they were dating. Tom Cruise married Katie Holmes,
Cruise
and they have
a
daughter together.
Then they got divorced.
And the thing is that him and Tom Cruise were friends, so it
was. Were they?
Supposedly.
No, they weren't.
And then,
Jamie and Tom?
And then they were...
Jamie and Top Gun?
They kind of got... They
Jamie
made a
and Ethan
movie
Hunt?
together. Was it Driver or
Taxi, like a taxi movie or something like that.
So they were in that movie together, and it's just crazy to they were married, and somehow they're no longer married, and but they kind of got caught, got seen around. They weren't trying to talk
but did Jamie and her ever get married?
No, they were together for a really long
separated.
time though.
They broke up though, right?
Yeah, they're not together anymore.
Okay. Interesting.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
Did Jennifer Aniston ever get married?
She did, but got divorced again. Yep.
Something's wrong with these people.
Well, it's got to be difficult to maintain some type of relationship with, according to what your goals are, essentially.
Yeah, but what goals does she have now? She's in the morning show.
Yeah.
Which is a great show.
It's amazing. Steve Carell is in there. It's a really good show.
I wonder did they really...
Yeah, it's coming back for another season.
Oh, man.
I'm excited for
That's
it.
money right there.
So...
Collateral.
Collateral, yes.
That's the name.
That was where they first worked together, right?
That's Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx.
Wait, Purple Bird said Timmy and Tommy?
Timmy and Tommy.
Listen, I hear Animal Crossing from
miles away. You hear Animal Crossing from anywhere.
Okay.
Purple Bird says, C-Money sure knows how to stick to his opinions. You know I do. You know I do. Shintaro says, C-Money Doodle, how are you guys doing today? We are doing phenomenally.
It's Friday, yo.
Friday for sure.
We are chilling. So today was one of those days where it's it's 8:00 at night and you're like, oh my gosh, I thought it was 4 p.m. You know what I mean? Like
the time just disappeared.
What happened?
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I've been ahead of the time. No, that time has been ahead for me. Hours ahead. It's a pain. I don't like it when the day goes by so fast.
Oh, so the day's been flying by for you. Yeah, they've been flying by. I get you. G maybe says, I don't actually know about the theater release because I would have been too young. Yeah, see?
Exactly. That's
right.
We're
part of the young crew.
Yes.
We're too young for Eddie Murphy, his old ass.
Exactly.
Even though he's hilarious.
He's really funny.
With the ice cream.
This guy.
And then he drops it. He's, I got my ice cream.
Epic moment.
That was so good. So
for
good.
Somebody gloating around.
Eddie!
Okay, now C-Money's got to do...
Eddie!
Don't start this. Don't start this. All right.
Oh, shit. That's hilarious, yo.
So which sitcom...
Such a good one.
Are we hitting up?
So we're... I forgot we were... Yeah, I don't know what happened. So I said we talk about King of Queens.
Man.
I love King of Queens.
Yes.
Also, fun fact, Leah Remini.
Yes.
She was in Saved by the Bell.
She was, you guys. And she was such a bitch.
She was a huge bitch.
Yes. And isn't it crazy that Leah Remini always plays these angry ass characters? She's always mad.
Because she's not playing.
Always, yeah, right?
She's just an angry ass woman, yo. She's always mad, yo.
Pissed off. She is amazing, but she's always really pissed. But yeah, she was in Saved by the Bell. I think it's summertime when they do summertime when they go to the beach and her father has a hotel or a restaurant or something. And so those were good.
Saved by the Bell was my everything.
Saved by the Bell was really good. And, I didn't realize how short of a time Saved by the Bell ran for until I watched like this documentary on like how the show came about and everything. And it's kind of crazy to see who was really friends with who and who kind of clicked or had.
I still got to watch that.
Yeah,
you told me about that.
You do.
You told me about that. But they were in high school, right? So it could only last so long. Then they went to college.
So this is the question. Did you like the college years?
Not as much as the high school.
Really? Because I really enjoy that. I actually like the college years.
The college years introduce other people.
Yes,
and I love the core.
I love the new characters. For me,
nobody
it was
could replace
really
like Jesse and Kelly and Lisa.
Yes, they were good, but I did like the
Mario
addition
Lopez.
that they had going. Mario Lopez was in the college years, so they kept Screech, they kept Mario, AC Slater. And Zach, right? But so they kind of went together, and there will be appearances here and there. But I did like the new group situation
but the story was not even nearly like as captivating. Like they had so much between Zach and Kelly, and then Kelly and Slater, and then Lisa. And Screech was obsessed with her, but she had no interest in him
at all.
And then AC and Jesse, come on, man, the whole thing. And I remember when they did that. I love that episode when they had the band and they were singing the song.
Yes,
Friends. What is it?
Friends forever.
Yo, that shit was tight. So good. I used to love that shit.
Let me get my guitar real quick. Just kidding.
Go get it. Let's do it. Sing a long time. But yes, that show. I feel like I don't remember how old I was when I was watching that show, but I loved it. I just know that I was younger than them.
Yes,
because they went to college and I was still young. But I loved it.
I think maybe that was the difference, because when I watched it, I enjoyed them being out, and for you maybe it was still just like so distant that you prefer that
because they were still doing kid crazy shit in the beginning.
Yes.
He had his phone. He was Zach was sneaking into the school.
What a show. And, through the documentary, you find out that, like, Screech had a problem with the fact that people saw him as Screech in the streets, right? Like, and that's such
Dustin Diamond.
Yes, that's such a situation.
Porn star name. I guess that's why he did it.
But listen, I think that he did it out of rebellion and acting now. And look at me.
He passed away now.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like, honestly, when you think about it, when they give you that reputation, you kind of like, what kind of, like, maybe ladies didn't want to get close to, seeing him on the show. If they think of him in that way, maybe,
they thought he was a dork.
Exactly. So that's maybe why he went to do, like, look, I have one and I can use it. You know what I mean?
Right.
He went freaking bonkers with it. In that respect, like, he kind of felt like he had something to say and prove, and that was not the way to go about it. Essentially, you got to kind of either ride the wave and let it die and just let it be. Look at the kid from Harry Potter. How much money did he make playing Harry Potter? And it's like, dude, that's a boxing freaking.
But he got out of it.
He kind of did, but I don't.
He's done tons of stuff.
So what have I watched?
He was literally in Treasure, the Sandra Bullock movie. He was the bad guy.
He was. He played that well, and that's the first time I've been able to kind of see him and be okay with him.
Yeah, and he can rap.
Really?
yeah, he's really good.
All right.
I think G Maybe's throwing some shade my way.
Saved
by the Bell. Speaking of people who went the wrong way. Damn.
Did you just take the knife out?
Take it out and toss it.
That's dramatico, mad dramatic.
Come on, man. Saved by the Bell was the shit. There has to be people somewhere.
Saved by the Bell.
No. Hit the like button and show me it's true. Hit it. Oh my God. That was
Friday is the best.
Friday is the best,
it's such
Shintaro
a chill,
says.
like, Friday nights are like so chill. It's kind of like,
they're the best days, bro, because you just finish a fucking long week of work.
And you're like, yo, I have the whole freaking world ahead of me. And then like Saturday goes by and you're like, damn it, it's Sunday.
Yo, it goes so fast.
It goes
especially
by.
with our like 84-hour podcast that we do.
Yes.
We'll see how long this one's going to be tomorrow.
Busy campers.
We are.
Yes. So King of Queens. Yes.
Doug, right?
Yo, he was
Kevin James.
Yes, Kevin James. So I really like Kevin James.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites for sure.
Yes. And his relationship with
him and Adam Sandler.
With Carrie, it's like crazy because I believe.
Doug and Carrie,
yes. Oh my gosh. Yo, there are some episodes that just live in my brain for like ever. When his mother shows up and she's hanging out with his ex-girlfriend, right? And Doug has the freaking cojones to go and get his keyboard because so his ex-girlfriend goes to him and she says, you never finished that song. You never like finished anything. Like you never finished the song you say you were writing for me. And he's like, I did finish it, but he didn't because it's freaking Doug. So you know he's lying and he's full of crap. So Carrie ends up showing up at his mother's house, right? Mm-hmm. Or apartment or wherever she's staying, right?
Yep.
And the ex-girlfriend is there and Doug knows that she's there. So he wants to prove to her that he did indeed finish the song. So he's sitting outside. He brings his keyboard and he's playing. And he starts singing the song to her. She comes out like to the balcony. And then moments later, Carrie comes out too. Yo, he freaking grabbed that keyboard. Yo, he old ass. That was hilarious. That was so funny. And then Carrie's always trying to get him to lose weight, yo.
Motherfucker goes to Burger King before
dinner. He's like, I'm not that hungry. And she's like, yo, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You're doing so well, but I just don't understand why you're not losing weight. Because motherfucker's going to Burger King on his way back to have a
pre-dinner.
Yo, she finds
That's
like
hilarious.
the ketchup packets under the soda. Like he's not even smooth enough to like eat in his car or like sit at Burger King and eat or like clean up well enough. He just
remember when he used to go to the garage to work out, but then he just started.
Wait. You gotta set this up. He went to Lou's. They were having a garage sale, right? Mm-hmm. And Lou is selling his workout equipment. And he's like, you know, I'll even throw in some like workout sessions, right? So they buy the stuff.
Lou Ferrigno, by the way, the original Hulk.
Right? So he goes and he says that he needs Carrie, all right? Doug is saying that Carrie's put on some weight. I'm going to need you to really go hard and like get her to lose some pounds, right? So Carrie's doing her work. She doesn't want to do it or whatever. Now, the scene before, right? Before they go out there, she's in their bedroom, right? They're sitting over there. She's getting dressed. So she's putting on these jeans, right? And the zipper won't go up. So he has to get a hanger, right? Those metal ones and puts the hook through the zipper hole, right? And he's pulling, like trying to get her zipper up. And he's like, he comes up with this genius plan of Lou making her lose weight, but he doesn't want to do it, right? So they take turns, right? And Doug finds a way to lure him into playing video games during the time that he's supposed to be training him so that he can lose some weight.
Classic
Needless
Doug.
to say, Carrie finds him and boom, game over.
All hell breaks loose.
That show was so good. And not to mention her father.
Her father was fucking hilarious, which is Ben Stiller's actual father.
I didn't know till much later that was his dad. And it's like, holy crap, that's crazy. And then once you put them together, you're like, they look just like one another. It is like the same person. But that show, do you have a specific episode that you remember that like, you were like, oh crap, that's it?
No, the ones that the one that stands out to me most is when he's getting the pre-dinner burger.
Yo, so
that's just hilarious.
The top episode for me.
They started getting sad towards the end.
Towards the end, they really took a turn with their relationship. I almost thought they weren't going to end up together. And they figure out how to kind of like wrap it around, and it all worked out. But there's this episode where at the gym, they brought in stripper poles, and they are having like classes on teaching them like how to, use this stripper pole, and it's a workout. So Doug has this idea to bring Carrie to the gym so she can kind of see the classes and want to kind of do it, right? Now Deacon, his friend, is like, yo, I have Kelly's taking the classes and I am having like the best nights ever, right? Because he got her I think he got her a pole.
That's
so
hilarious.
Carrie starts taking the classes and he buys a pole. He gets excited, puts it in the bedroom. She starts handing out coupons like, yo, I'm going to get you tonight with that stripper pole, right? Yo, she cannot
so bad,
do it.
bro.
He's like being tortured throughout this stuff. And they're like really playing the thing. And he's so out of it, so annoyed. Anyways, turns out he flips out. He's like, that's not how you do it. You become one with the pole. And then he goes around the pole and he walks and he spins around, legs up, and then he's like, you float down like an angel. Yo, that scene was priceless. That was crazy.
That's awesome.
It was so good. I can't believe he got on that pole and delivered like that, the way that he did.
It was really
that was
such
crazy.
A great show.
Yeah, it was. They
All
had,
the
again,
scenes
it goes
him,
back to the chemistry.
And then you had the little guy who's a stand-up, Patton Oswald.
Yes.
Oswald Patton, some shit. He did another stand-up,
really good,
but he's been famous too, and he's really funny in that show. He's lives with the cousin.
Yes, his cousin, Doug's cousin. They live
with the
together.
Mother.
But his mother, who's actually, I think she is Ben Stiller's mother as well. Yep. Holy crap. But she's like obsessed with Arthur, who's her real life husband, but Carrie's father. And she wants to like reel him in.
But he doesn't want
it. No, because, he a G. You know what I'm saying?
He's a G.
He's a G. But that show was so good. Top notch for sure.
It's really one of like our favorites. G maybe says, G maybe says you're asking to press the button again. Okay, no, you're only supposed to press the button if you haven't pressed it. Okay, we don't repress. No. All right. Oh my God. So Charles says he liked the stream. Good job.
Thank you, Shin.
Good job, Shin.
And thank you, G maybe. Unless you press it twice, and we're gonna need you to go press that again.
Yeah. You have to unpress your repress. I don't even know what that means. He says he'd never watched Harry Potter.
Really?
Harry Potter, all of them are phenomenal.
So they are, and we actually have to go back and start from the beginning with our younger kiddos because they have
it's
to.
So good.
Mad Men and Purple Berry, we watched all of them with them.
You know what it is? I want to wait till our little ones are a little older so that we can. I want to get like a new. Because those movies are really good.
Wait, you bought the train?
I want to get a bigger TV.
Didn't you buy the train?
I do. We have it. I have the collector's
really
edition
good.
train somewhere with all the movies in 4K.
The movies get really good. So I bought the first book, right? And I was like, maybe the kids will like it because we did like the movies. And the damn street names and people's, I was like, God darn it. Here, you read the damn book. I'm not reading this. Get the heck out of here. Like,
way too much energy.
Yeah, dude. I was like, okay, so this is like 18 chapters later. You're like, wait, what the fudge did I read? Like, no, thank you.
Look at Purple Berry out here in these streets saying, I strongly dislike Harry Potter.
Well, listen, Purple, you were not happy when you watched them, but you did watch them, so we appreciate the fact that you did.
And you'll watch it again, and you'll love it.
I think that Purple Berry would like them now. I think when she watched them, she was like, there's kind of like, there's a very, it's a little dark, you know? So there's like these snake scenes and stuff like that can get a little intense if you're not, like, if it gets to you.
Purple Berry says if you want to show some peak cinema, do some Twilight.
Oh my gosh, Twilight is so good.
Is fucking dope.
Berry, why are you coming at us with movie night? Movie night's coming.
That's next time, bro. This is TV shows, okay? Now, G maybe says, but he liked Guns Akimbo and Jungle, crazy movies. Now, I have no idea
I've never seen that.
What movies those are.
All right. We got to Google it. Oh, G, maybe if you can.
Drop it in the Discord, please, so we can see what they are.
the trailers, and we'll check out
absolutely.
That'll be pretty dope.
He also says, "Who would have thought Jesse would be the one to become the pro on the pole?"
Right?
The stripper pole. You seen that? Did you watch that movie?
Crap. Yeah, well, I saw some of it. I think.
Did we watch it together, or did I watch it alone?
You told me about it, and it was a little crazy.
It was wild, and it was like
that
she got like really.
That Jesse went in and did
like,
all
why
that
would she
stuff.
do that movie? And the guy, one of the guys in there is the guy from the Flintstones movie. Who played the bad guy.
Do you wonder, like, because they've never had, like, that I know of, an interview. Like, do you wonder if she, like, obviously she didn't think that people were going to see it in that way. Maybe she felt like people were going to look at it and be like, whoa, she really, gave her all into this role as an actor.
I don't know, but
like,
it was a crazy
like, maybe
movie.
in her mind, this was not going to play out
Did you see
the way that
she flopped around in the water when they were doing stuff?
Listen, she had a lot of fun.
That was really crazy. She looked like she was, I don't know what was happening in there.
It got
But then
intense.
you saw what they did to the friend. No bueno.
When
at the party, when she was with the other guy she didn't know, and then the girl was alone with somebody, and then he let in a bunch of guys.
No.
And that was no bueno.
I didn't see that. I don't feel like I saw that. Or maybe that's where, I don't know.
Very bad. Very bad.
But the
crazy
movie itself was a lot. And then you're like, okay, now let me ask you a question. Had it been any other actress, right, other than Jessie, coming from like Saved by the Bell and playing this role, like how would that role have been?
It would have been viewed differently, but the role was still it was really out there.
Yes.
Like that's not like we didn't really watch movies like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it was a bit much.
Yeah.
I would say in general. So I think anybody would have had a hard time, but Jessie in particular, because it's like, dude, remember the girl from Seventh Heaven?
Yes.
Jessica Biel?
Yes. She's married to Justin Timberlake now. They have kiddos and everything.
And she gave up, working so she
pretty
could
much, yeah.
Let Justin do his thing. But when she got out of that show, everybody thought she was like a tomboy because she played that's her character in Seventh Heaven. She played basketball and she was like a tomboy. And immediately once that show was done, she did Playboy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was on the cover, naked.
So how was that received versus Jessie's situation? I mean, that's a whole different thing.
It was a little different because those are pictures, and she was like, "Hey, I'm a grown woman, and I'm doing Playboy." This other chick was like, basically doing a porno.
Yeah. Oh,
it's very different.
Well, I guess 2 out of the 6 main characters in Saved by the Bell decided to go and,
Which, when you watch the show and you see the part where she's like taking the drugs, because she has to be perfect and she has to do everything, and she's singing, "I'm so excited."
It got very emotional.
So that shit was like, damn, like that's really, what high school was waiting for me. That's what I was thinking when I was watching that shit. I was like, high school's gonna be crazy. High school's gonna be crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah. It got a little crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
But listen, not everybody makes it from these shows, right? Not everybody has. And I think them being in that, I guess that's the problem, right? They were younger, right? Like, we're not talking about like Leah and Kevin James. Like, we're talking about younger kids exposed to a show like that really became a big deal. And I'm not sure that they got paid as if they were like, as if it was a big deal. And like now you're known and you have an opportunity to do something with that. And I think some of the moves were just not thought through.
Agreed.
Agree.
Oh, I mean, you get out of something like that where it's so steady, and then it's like, well, it's done. It's like, what do you do?
Exactly.
It's scary. Like, people don't know. Like,
and then,
they have to kind of figure it out.
Maybe if that was her first movie that she made, it's like maybe the idea of like, I'm going to be in a movie. Like, I think you understand it a little more throughout the documentary, because I think she was one of the people that wanted to leave to go and be an actor, like to go make movies and stuff like that. If I'm
before
recalling
she
correctly.
got stuck.
Yes. So I don't know.
Jokes on her because she didn't. And then she ended up doing like, she was a host of some, was it a modeling show, I feel?
I don't know.
It was like not America's Next Top Model. Remember, we went through a whole phase where we used to watch the fuck out of America's Next Top Model.
Yes, a lot of reality television, and that's what happened. That's what took down a lot of these, like, you know, sitcom shows coming about, and like that kind of took over. But we will have a Friday night reality TV, you know, theme night.
Yeah, we'll do one for sure.
But when it comes to King of Queens, anything else when it comes to that show?
I mean, just the thing that did was it really brought us to like Kevin James, who obviously we know has done many funny movies.
Yes.
He's Burt Cop, the mall cop.
The mall cop. Those are really good.
Those
there
are
really two of those.
good.
He's made 2 of those.
Yep.
They're
he
really
does,
good.
He's in Huey Halloween, right?
Oh my gosh, Huey Halloween, you guys. So I didn't want to see it. I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. This is going to be so silly. It's such a good movie, you guys. It's got that. It's kind of like for this time. I know some of you are not convinced yet, but Doodle believes that we're, you know, into it's fall. Okay, guys,
it's almost there.
It's fall. It's real.
Pretty much.
Pumpkin is out, so you just got to give into it, you know, and enjoy the fall with me and
just embrace
with
it.
us. Yeah,
embrace it. I said embrace. I said embrace.
Listen, see,
it's because I was channeling my inner Fez.
Poet, you just out here,
and I just don't know it,
making up words that just sound right. You
as
know,
long
you
as
don't
they
give
sound
yourself
right, that's what's important.
Enough credit.
I try not to.
Yeah. So, but sometimes you should.
I should. G maybe says Anne Hathaway almost did the same thing. Paul Blart.
No way. Wait,
that's
Anne Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway, she turned into like an amazing actress. Yes. What did she do in the middle of
probably from the Princess Diary
to
that transition?
What? Because she did Get Smart with Steve Carell.
Yes.
And then she's been in a bunch of other things. I don't remember off the top of my head.
She has. I love this movie, you guys. The Devil Wears Prada. She's in that movie.
Yes, The Devil Wears Prada was an amazing movie.
Yes, and that lady, Meryl Streep, she is
we're talking about a lot of
chameleon.
movies.
I know. We're going to have to come back next Friday with freaking movie night because I feel like
we got a lot of movie talk to get into as well.
So get ready, you guys. Start watching movies. Start suggesting movies. Drop trailers. We're going to, you know, be on it all week and come back with movie night.
Absolutely.
But
he's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And he's had more shows.
He has a Netflix show right now.
Well, before the Netflix show, remember the show that he did that he messed up because it was a good show.
It was a really good show. I can't remember the name of the show. Can you?
Man, I don't remember the name of the show, but his wife in it was somebody who was not like super famous, but she's been around before. And then they did a season. It was good. And they had Leah Remini guest on the show. And then the next season.
So she guessed for like the last 2 episodes.
Yep. Then the next season, his wife, the woman who played his wife, died.
Just
off
gone.
Screen.
Like we didn't see how it happened.
She
It
wasn't even allowed to be on the show to die.
Yeah, his wife died. And that was it. And here comes Leah Remini bringing him like lasagna or something. I don't know, because he's going through this stuff and
then
they start working
stays
together. So I think essentially what took place, because I think Leah Remini lives in like California or something like that, and Los Angeles, whatever. And then I think he's here in New York, right?
Okay.
And I think maybe she was offered the role and she didn't want to pick up and go, probably not knowing if the show will take, right? So the show kind of got started. She made a guest appearance, and then she said, I'll make it work. And they were like, okay, we're done with you. Bring in Leah Remini. People are going to love it because they were in King of Queens, and that worked.
That's what they get, so it went to shit.
That was not handled right.
But that's why, because it went to shit. Like, you think you're going to just kill this lady off? We like the show. We like that dynamic.
Exactly.
I mean, as much as we liked you and Leah, it's like, all right, but like we want the one we just saw. Like we like this relationship. Where does she
go, right? The show is still going with the chemistry and whatever you guys made happen. So you can't just like take someone out. like that.
So real quick, G maybe says that Anne Hathaway was in a movie called Havoc right after Princess Diaries 2.
I've never seen that movie.
Maybe you could drop that trailer too in the
that would
Discord,
be awesome.
so we can see what you're talking about. Because that would be
so I'm assuming that there's a stripping pole in that.
I guess she was a stripper there too, or ass naked.
You know, something went down.
Don't know. Don't know. So King of Queens. The nice thing about it is that we can put that on literally anytime and just laugh, have a good time.
Just let it be.
Doesn't matter what episode you pick, you just let it rock.
And that's the thing. Like, it's crazy because it did have a story, but the story picked up anywhere, right? You didn't have to know their chemistry, the way that the show, what the show was about, and how things worked, and it it fit, you know. It was really good when it was around. And the cool thing, rolling right into the next show that we should talk about, is that he had, this was the first time that I've seen this. They had 2 sitcoms that were running at the same time, intermingled.
Did you just read my mind? Because it's not on here, and we forgot about Raymond. It. I was like, "Yo, everybody loves Raymond. How we forget about it? Everybody loves Raymond. That shit was amazing too."
That show, and they had Raymond and his wife come into the King of Queens, right? And they, like, the guys were friends, and then they also did an appearance. So
their worlds were in the same world.
Cool, I thought.
Like, that was really dope.
That show had so much heart. Yo, everybody loves Raymond. And you know what's funny? When she came to audition, I think the reason why she got the role was because she was the only actress that went ahead and kissed him for the audition. Like, she was okay. Nobody else wanted to, like, kiss him, or, like, I guess I don't know. But
I mean, he's not a good-looking guy.
The point is
but he's still,
that she had no problem, or he made a joke about how she was okay. Like, she just fit into the role of, like, okay, so I'm playing his wife, and, you know, and she had no, like, hesitation, and it just kind of fell into place. Everybody else was kind of like...
That was a really good show.
Yeah, it was.
It's a really good show, and it became funnier when you're married. When you watch it married, because you see, like, the different levels of married, like his parents,
getting
and
involved
how Frank
Frank and Marie, and affecting their relationship and causing arguments and stuff like that. And they did it in a funny way, but they also put light into the fact that you got to let them live their lives and kind of let them grow into their relationship, right? And it's crazy because they bought the house across the street, and, you know,
they thought it was going to be a good thing.
But they did. And, like, at first it starts, they're already living there. But then they do later on like a flashback. And it was her idea. Like, she freaking hates them living across the street. But it was her idea because the mother kind of found a way to lure them. Like, yeah, we're so great. We'll help you. This house is perfect and all this other crap. And he's like, it's a trap. It's a trap.
Yeah.
And that's how they got stuck in that situation. Absolutely. But aside from them, his brother, oh my gosh, was Robert.
Robert ended up doing a whole bunch of stuff too.
Yes. You remember that episode when he got the horns, the bull freaking chased after him, and he got struck in the ass with the bull horns? I don't remember. That was funny.
But I'm sure.
But the dynamic between the two, and they kind of go into, like, Raymond is the younger one, right?
Yes.
And they go into everything that has affected Robert because the mother babies the younger child, right? So Raymond can do nothing wrong. Raymond is perfect. Robert can be eating his own birthday cake, and she will take it away from him to give it to Raymond because Raymond has walked into the room like he is everything to her. And it's not that she doesn't love Robert, is that she's so obsessed with the little one. It's crazy. And
it's
like,
wild.
I can't imagine, though, doing that to your kid.
Yeah, it was really funny. Like
It was hilarious.
they showed you, like, I mean, that's like a thing that's gone almost. Like they showed you like real life shit.
Yes.
And showed you the funny in it, right? Because it's funny when you see it from outside. When you're in that moment, not funny.
Yes.
But when you see it back or you see somebody else going through it, funny.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's wild.
Exactly.
So G maybe says she wasn't a stripper, but there was rough material.
Okay.
So he says, I don't watch many sitcoms, but Everybody Loves Raymond was hilarious.
It was, right?
Yes,
okay,
it was.
G, maybe I have a question. Who was your favorite character, and were there like specific memories that you have of it that like
For sure.
are like hard to forget? You know what I mean?
Paige, welcome back.
Paige, welcome.
He also says King of Queens was good too. Kevin James' physical comedy is fantastic.
Right?
Yeah, it's just
Oh
like
my
that's the thing with some of
gosh.
these older actors from back in the day. Like you see them and they just threw their whole body into it, like
Yes.
Marlon Wayans, right? Like if that's
Yes.
the like they just didn't give
It
a
was
shit
a
how they
different
looked.
type of comedy, exactly. And it was like they just lived it. It's almost like they knew what they were coming in for, and they gave you just so much more than what you were expecting. I cannot imagine, because you got to
Agreed.
remember also a lot of these shows were recorded with a live audience for the laugh,
Yes.
right? The laugh tracks and all that crap. But can you imagine being there and watching this type of magic take place? Like, that is insane. And it's not something that I don't think they do that anymore. I mean, it will be dangerous. And I think that it will also, you know, with COVID and all the stuff that's been around, I think that kind of just, even if they were
What,
still
for doing
trying
the
to
live
do that,
audiences?
yes, that will kind of shut it down.
I think some shows might still do it, but it's very few and far between
Exactly.
if they do.
If they do.
Because I'm trying to think of one. One of the last shows that we really liked is that comedian, that guy. What's his name?
Oh my gosh.
The one George.
George.
He had a show
George.
with Chris
Yes.
Dahlia
Man,
or
I
some
can't- I
shit.
don't know the name.
Man, what the hell was that show?
It's funny because we always forget the name of the show. And we remember the other day because we rewatched his stand-up on Netflix,
Yes.
right? And the show is not available. It's not available. Like, you can't find
Yeah,
it
that's
anywhere.
right. It was
so we were
gone.
trying
That's
to
right.
show the kids the show.
They
and
literally were so desperate
They
by the end
were.
of the show that during the recording they literally just broke out of character and did stupid shit, and they
Yeah.
like gave somebody's phone number
One of the
out
actual
to the
actors'
people
phone
like
numbers,
in the
yeah,
world,
and everybody
was
calling,
blowing
yes.
them up.
And they will bring like people to sing at the end of the episode. Like,
Yep.
they really tried to keep the show going, and they just couldn't, because again, it's a different time. This is not the way things go anymore.
Yeah.
And I wish I
wild.
remember the name of the show, but yeah.
G Mamie says I liked mainly the dynamic between Ray and his brother.
Yes.
They can go from calm to hot so quickly.
Very.
Yeah,
Yo,
for sure.
When
I feel that.
Robert gets his own apartment and Ray realizes that there's a pool and that there are models that live across the street or something from him, and that they're going to the pool, and then he sells Deborah on this idea that he wants to spend more time with Robert or whatever. Yo, it's crazy. And then he ended up marrying, what was her name? I'm blanking out. It's like right there.
In the show?
Yes. And she's actually the real wife of one of the producers. She just jumped in to...
Was it Wendy?
No.
Anne?
No.
Annie?
But they get married. Amy.
I was getting there.
Amy. Yes.
I was getting there,
told you it was
Amy.
right there. But they get married, and then Marie and Frank want to go ahead and they want to move to a retirement home, and they're thinking of leaving them the house, right? So obviously this is huge for Deborah and Raymond that have had to live across from them for like ever, right? And then they're talking about leaving Robert and Amy the house. Okay, so they're in there in the room, and they're like, oh man, and how far is it that you guys are moving? And then in with traffic, and we're not gonna see you that often. So they leave to go to the kitchen, like to process it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Marie's like, they're just heartbroken, right? Yo, they start dancing in the kitchen. They start partying. And then Robert, you know how tall he is, right? So he grabs his wife, Amy. He picks her up and puts her on top of the fridge, right? And then he takes her down. They start dancing around. And Raymond is so excited. He's not as tall as Robert is. He's like half his size. So he grabs Deborah to do the same thing on top of the fridge.
Just slams her.
Yo. Hilarious, yo. Freaking comedy gold. Freaking loved it.
Oh, my God.
That was such a good show. Man,
really good.
you don't get this type of stuff anymore.
Yeah, but there's also like these shows are on reruns forever,
Yes.
right? Because that's the quality that they were. Whereas now you don't have that.
Exactly.
You know?
Like they kind of just, again, like that show, they
They
kind of
just
just
sit
disappear.
there. Like you can go watch them if you want, but
Yes.
you have to go look for them. Whereas you put on anything and it's like showing you the next King of Queens or
Exactly.
Everybody Loves Raymond. It's so dope.
It's really, really cool. The fact that they have made something so impactful. And it's really cool for me to hear younger people talk about these shows that like we grew up with. It's like, damn, you know, and listen, we expose our kids to these shows.
No. Whitney
was
Chris D'Elia was in that show with Whitney.
Yes.
Whitney, talk about somebody who went off the edge.
Yes, you love that show, though.
Yeah, the show was
really
great,
funny.
but her stand-up, remember her stand-up?
Her last stand-up
was so
rough.
desperate,
Yeah.
bro. Oh my God, that was horrible.
She was laughing really hard at her own jokes,
and she
but
thought
the
she was
crowd
sexy,
wasn't
like
responding
doing
the
things,
way.
and she was like grinding on the floor. Get up, you twig. Nobody trying to see you looking like a goddamn praying mantis up there. Get out of here. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Praying mantis?
Yeah, those fucking creatures with the skinny legs and arms and shit.
It was rough.
Get the fuck out of here.
And I felt kind of bad because she's really trying to entertain and sell the joke, but
it's like, it's
that
not
didn't land
funny.
for
You just look
us.
like you got issues, lady.
That
the fuck
played
is wrong
out
with you?
a little rough. For sure.
Like, gotta be funny.
But Whitney, the show was
Whitney, the
funny.
show was good.
And the guy that's in there that plays her boyfriend is the guy that
is in the
other show. Yes.
With the stand-up comedian that we talking about. Why do we
George.
forget his name? George.
He's so funny though. And
he's really good. He can sing.
He has this type of comedy where it's really funny, but he will really go with the joke until he kills it. You know, not a lot of comics do that.
End.
You know, he will bury the joke. And it's still funny, but it's like, all right, you knew that we knew that you knew that we knew that it was time to move on.
Like, we should have ended this joke a long time ago. Yeah, Chris D'Elia is also in but that's the problem, G Maybe. Because of what he did, the show is gone.
You can't find
it. You cannot watch that show.
Exactly. So
Chitaro says, a damn twig, CMoney. And praying mantis, I'm dead.
That caught me off guard. See, I am praying mantis. That's something. That's original right there.
I
don't know how it comes to you, but it does.
Don't know
you
how.
deliver.
Don't know
deliver
how.
for sure.
Thank you.
Another great show that I don't know if we can watch now. Like there could be a version of it now. Is The Office.
Oh, well, that's the next one.
The Office?
The Office?
Oh, my gosh.
Man, all right. So, this is the thing. It's kind of hard, right? Because you have to acknowledge that it was
racist. It was
sexist.
It was all of the above and beyond.
Bad against people with disabilities and stuff.
It was rough, dude.
It was really rough.
It was rough, but it was freaking hilarious. The show Undateable,
yes, G Maybe coming through with the clutch. Yo. That show is dead and gone. Baby. I can't find it. We want to watch it so badly because it was so funny.
Because you know what's crazy? Everybody else gets hit with the whoever messed up.
Yeah, like all those people, they're like dead to them.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. They must hate him. Bro.
Yeah. Seriously.
They must. He seems like a hateable guy anyway.
He does. Like, you can really, we found
He was like beefing with Logan Paul. It was so funny.
In Whitney and Undateable, we found him funny. And then he did a stand-up on Netflix, and it was kind of dark. We were like, wait, hold up. Is this that light guy that we find super funny in the shows? Like, what happened here? Someone's going through something. Anyways, turns out that it seems like maybe that's just his real personality.
Yeah,
and
he's
acting really takes over when he's in a sitcom.
For sure. He's not cool. Now, Purple Berry.
Yes, Purple.
And this is funny because it's coming from Purple Berry, who's she watched this with us. It's like Izzy. You know that stand-up, that lady who she's like this little white girl. She's like makes those voices. When she's making that, right? So it's Purple Berry says, "LOL," like Izzy complaining about having big breasts.
Oh my God.
When she knows that we know that she knows that she ain't got shit.
Yo,
like, what are you talking about, lady? Big breasts.
Yes.
What are you have no problem with your
it's
like come on, man.
Comedy was written
for somebody else.
Someone else, or someone wrote her material and they said, here, figure it out.
Or she has no comprehension of what big breasts are. Whoa, R-rated.
Big knockers.
Big knockers.
Jugs. The movie theater jugs.
Movie theater jugs.
Sorry. I thought you were going to say what I said. I was finishing your sentence. Doodle got comfortable, okay?
Doodle got comfortable. Shintaro says he's watched The Office. Yeah, so The Office, listen, it was fucking funny, bro. It was funny.
Steve
funny
Carell,
as fuck.
so this freaking...
Steve Carell's hilarious.
By the way, the idea of The Office is just like... They went ahead and they took what they do with reality TV shows and they made it seem as if this sitcom
I thought it was a reality TV show in the beginning.
Was a real thing taking place, being delivered as a reality TV show. Like, that was freaking genius. They go into the booth to go ahead and tell their truth and talk about each other and how they feel about things. Like, dude, that was epic. I love the idea behind the whole thing. And then Steve Carell has this way of playing this character where he wants to be their best friend, but he still wants to be their boss, and he wants to be admired and looked up to, but still be best friends.
Yes.
It's crazy. So he's always trying to hang out with them. He's always trying to please them. But at the same time, he's just the nastiest person because he says sexist things. He says racist things.
But that was before, when you didn't think somebody was nasty when they were saying that stuff, because it just wasn't said in a malicious way.
There you go. So the character, and this is where the loophole kind of comes in.
You know what I'm saying?
The character is ignorant. And what he's looking for is kind of like to fit in, but he can't build that relationship because they're his employees, right?
Yep.
So he tries to be cool, like, and a fax comes in and he rips it out, throws it in the garbage, right? Oh, let me get to work. In slow motion, like, it's like,
it's so good.
When he got on the phone to show them how to sell. Do you remember that one? And then he called them, I think he said, sir, and it was a lady, and then he's like, okay, I'm so sorry. Like, yo, crazy. I love that show.
It was so good.
And then,
really funny. It was really funny with him. Then you had Dwight.
Yes.
Who was hilarious.
Who he actually wanted to be his best friend and the assistant to the original manager. Because but then he didn't want Dwight because Dwight wasn't he wasn't good enough because Dwight wanted him, right? So
and Dwight was crazy.
Dwight was freaking nuts.
He owned a farm with his brother.
Yeah,
they were just weird people.
Very specific type of people, and very, very funny. Now, this is my question to you.
Yes.
Okay. We know how Jim felt about Pam, right? And Pam seemed to kind of feel the same way about Jim.
Facts.
Right? But Pam was engaged, and she had been engaged for like years.
Years.
And the engagement was just going longer and just going and just going.
Yep.
Was it, because Jim will try to kind of be friendly with her fiance, right? Because he worked there too, just in a different department.
Yep.
Was it inappropriate, the fact that he kind of kept luring her in, knowing that she was engaged to someone else?
I don't know, Doodle. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
Well, you just turned the question around on me.
Well, I'm saying because of what took place.
Okay, so maybe that was the wrong question to ask.
I'm just saying, I think that we think that is the correct thing to do. Right? I think we believe that it makes absolute sense for Jim to go over there and get his.
Listen, they weren't married
Freak
yet.
the guy who's not on the show much, right?
Okay, I get it, see.
Just saying.
It was such a slow paced thing that you don't know if they are going to end up
Purple knows
together.
what I'm talking about. Purple gets it.
Purple gets it.
Purple gets it. So that question.
So take everybody out. Don't matter. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Jim's not married. Like, Jim has nothing to do with that other guy.
I get that.
It's not Jim's fault that she was into him. You know what I'm saying?
True. I guess. They weren't happy. I don't think they would have gotten married, period.
Who was him, her, and
the fiance?
Did she end up with Jim at the end?
Yes, they did end up together. It took like freaking forever, though. It was such a slow-paced relationship because they were both so timid. And I don't think that...
Well, he kept trying, but...
He tried, but
she
wasn't
was like still
clear
loyal.
about it. Yeah.
Like, she was still trying to see if she would get married to this other fucking guy.
Yes. But
who he ended up playing the lawyers in Drop Dead Diva, remember?
Oh my gosh, yes, Drop Dead Diva. I remember that show.
Drop Dead Diva was a great show.
It was good.
But then it got crazy towards the end.
It did. It got a little too far with the idea. Like, yes, I will buy into the idea that, you know, she got hit by a car and she pressed the button, came back into someone else's body who had died and looks differently. And then she goes to her fiance and tries to like lure him back in and convince him that it's her soul inside of this other person's body. But where they took, so we bought into that. Okay?
We did. We
but
bought
then
it.
when he got hit by something and came back as some, like it got too complex.
Yeah, it was
they
a
took
little
it too
much.
far towards the end.
It was a little much. And then the angel in that show
came
ended up
back
doing.
in.
He ended up doing that other show, the Walmart show, Superstore.
Yes, Superstore. Superstore was really good. I
America
enjoyed
Ferrera
that
was
show.
in there.
Yes, that show was that was really good. I enjoyed that. That was more recent. And
those are newer shows.
Came to an end, but it's a newer show, and it's really good too.
Absolutely,
it didn't last as long, obviously, because different times.
Yeah. So, The Office had a lot of people in it.
It did.
And it had a lot of, like, Mindy was in that show.
Yes. And she ended up, I think, producing quite a few episodes. And then she went ahead and made the Mindy Project.
She did.
The Mindy Project was not a Hulu original, but it ended up going to Hulu because it kind of flopped after one season, which was really funny.
She doesn't have good luck.
She does not have good
She made
luck
Velma.
And
we
everybody
loved Velma, but everybody hated Velma.
Everybody went at it. I thought the show was good. I'm excited for season 2. So she's still winning, right? She's still winning.
Is there a season 2?
Yes.
All right, I'm ready.
I am too.
G Maybe says he actually binged Superstore.
Oh, yes. See? That's the kind of
Superstore
show that you can just sit there and watch. It's really good. Did you like it? Well, you saw the whole thing.
That was like an office in the store.
Yeah.
If you think about it, the way that lady, how she's like mad inappropriate.
Yes.
The mean one.
Mm-hmm. I know. I forget her name, but I know who you're talking about. But yes, she was like Dwight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. I think they probably mimicked it.
Right?
You know, they probably thought, let's do it. But so Mindy was in there. BJ Novik was, I guess.
BJ Novik, he actually wrote when Purpleberry was in kindergarten, I believe, her and I picked up this book. And it's the book with no pictures, I believe is the name. And he wrote that book, and it's actually really good. So the book has no pictures. And it says, the author's saying, like, the narrator has to say anything you want them to say. So then it starts making like silly noises and making up silly words. And obviously, and
you're the narrator.
Exactly. So you have to read it. And then,
so this is like Bluey all over again.
Exactly.
Just let us read the story, man.
But I love the book. I think it was so good to always read it with my girl. She loved that book.
Yep.
Yeah. So for me, it's special.
Purpleberry says, "Oh my God, Superstore was great."
It was.
She maybe says, "Yeah, the mean one was my wife's favorite character."
Yeah, she went in. She went in on a lot of people.
And Purpleberry says, "Oh, that's still my favorite book."
Yeah, baby, we still have it. That was unnecessary. CMoney.
Her favorite book.
That's
right now.
Well, as a memory, and
she didn't say it was her favorite memory.
Her favorite book.
She says her favorite book
because it
means grown-ass
something. Girl. It means something.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. It's a favorite memory.
Not very nice.
You don't hand her the book now, and she's gonna be like, "Oh my God, I must go read this."
So let me see. When was the last time you watched The Lion King? How are those Disney movies coming through for you?
Amazingly.
All right, as a grown ass man.
Hey,
kids,
I'm not saying it's.
Right?
I'm not saying it's wrong
let's watch
for her to do it. I'm saying.
Aladdin, all right? I don't want to see that.
Listen, Aladdin was also great.
Old ass movies.
Hey, those are good movies.
How about you get over it? Telling my baby to get over her book.
I didn't say get over it. I said,
with her mama.
Look, all right? She said I'm right.
No, she did.
Did I? I don't know.
This guy.
What book? I missed something. BJ Novak from The Office, wrote a book, and that's Purpleberry's favorite book, apparently.
But no, so when she was in like kindergarten, first grade, we picked up this book, and I used to read it to her a lot. She loved the book because you had to do. It's the book with no pictures, so it doesn't have any pictures. You have to kind of act
Tell my man to bring me a water, please.
And I have some ice water. Would you like some, or you want a water bottle?
I prefer a water bottle.
Gotcha. But yeah, so Purpleberry said that's still her favorite book, and CMoney's going at Purple. You know what I'm saying? When he's still watching Disney movies.
First of all, ain't nobody still watching.
Just saying.
And that's because I ain't got time. All right? So let's not act like I got time to watch a Disney movie right now.
If you are still...
Disney is forever.
I will argue with that. Going to Disney...
Argue with 100 years of history?
You can go to Disney, but sitting there watching freaking The Lion King or Aladdin or all this nonsense
I can watch the live-action Lion King.
Real people, like grown-up movies.
Yo, I watch grown-up movies. Mm-hmm. Okay? Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, okay? I just watched that. I'm very grown up.
That's right. You
see what I'm saying? You gotta fix those glasses. Let everybody know.
So did they get the right type of red for Raphael's?
They did, because Raphael was amazing.
All right.
Just saying. Everybody in the chat agrees with me. Don't look. No. Don't look. Just trust me.
For sure.
They're all saying down with Doodle. CMoney is the champion.
Down with, you had to throw that in.
Calm down, guys. Have some respect. Doodle, I got your back. Don't worry about it.
CMoney, I'm having a hard time believing that. All right. Go ahead and continue. The Office, amazing show.
Look, see, G-Mate says, don't get me started about Finding Nemo. He said he loves it more than any movie ever made in the history of movies.
Nemo has been found. It's time to move on.
Just saying.
Okay.
Good call, G-Maybe. That's a good movie. Okay. I like Finding Nemo.
I bet you
Finding
do.
Dory.
It's a Disney movie. CMoney.
It's a Pixar movie. Man, tell her. Man, where are you? Tell her. Okay, tell her what it is.
Now you want to talk about the difference difference between Disney and Pixar? All right, now you want to explain when you run around telling madmen, why does it matter? Disney owns it all. It's all the same thing. All right?
Oh, God.
Listen, I'll get you a bottle and I'll put on the Lion King for you tonight. Continue.
I mean, that sounds like a good night.
He's like, yes.
That sounds like a great night.
Tonight, you said, all right? After the stream, pinky promise?
Oh, my God.
Anyways, so we have the bigger
The
shows
Office.
as well.
Which
we
one?
can't
What do you mean bigger
forget
shows?
about the fact that during that time, Smallville, One Tree Hill, Gossip Girl, XOXO.
Oh, my God. Gossip Girl. XOXO.
Girl.
Gossip Girl.
Thank you, my love.
Man. Hey, who made Finding Nemo? Oh.
It did. Yes, that's what we were talking about. Pixar made Finding
Good call,
Nemo.
man.
And I'm holding your water bottle.
Why'd you give my water to her?
Thank you, Madman. Thank you so much. No, I got it. No. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. How thirsty are you, C-Money?
No. Finding Nemo was definitely made by Disney.
It
for
was
sure.
made
Made by Disney.
Are they kid movies?
Super kid. What a loser to watch any of them. Such a loser.
Yeah. Here you go. Oh my God.
And that's how it's done in this house. Okay.
Anyways, so Gossip Girl got a reboot, right? They remade the show. Now, Gossip Girl.
Did you ever watch it?
No, we watched a few episodes, remember?
Did we?
We did. And
Oh,
it
yeah,
was a little much.
It's not the same.
No, it was not the
You know
same.
why? You know why it's not the same? Because
I gave him the water,
man. Look at. I'll take another one though.
Such a good kid. Thank you.
You gave
love.
it back to her?
It was for me. This one's for me. He said.
Wait. You took the water?
I gave it to him. I thought you assumed I kept the water, and you brought another one for Papa.
I thought you were just gonna keep it for yourself. So
You brought this
I
one.
thought you were gonna give it to.
You brought one for. Thank you, my baby.
Much appreciated, good sir.
Thank you, my boy.
Thanks, buddy. It's all good. It's all good. It's late.
Thank
Don't
you.
worry about it. We get it.
He's such a good kid.
So, Gossip Girl.
Yes.
Can't remake it because it's a mockery of it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because it was pure when it was first there. It had such great characters. Obviously,
Chuck and Blair.
Chuck, Blair. So was it Serena? Serena.
Yes.
What's the hobo's name?
Yes, I know.
the poor boy?
I forget.
Dan.
Dan. Yes.
Dan.
But
His little sister.
Yeah, exactly. So that show was really good, and
It
that's
was
where
great. Great story.
Ryan Reynolds' wife,
Yes.
Blake Lively, is from.
That's where she
Gossip
started.
Girl. And I first off, I love their relationship. She still makes movies, but it's kind of like he was married to Black Widow. What was Scarlett Johansson? And they said that the relationship didn't work out because they were both just going at
They were
it, trying
both trying to be famous. You don't have
yes,
time
and you
for each
can't
other.
have, essentially,
Somebody has to just be
somebody has
able
to-
to
yeah,
be ready to be
to take a
around
back
when the
seat.
person
Yes,
comes back. You know what I'm saying?
So
Can't
and I
be you
think
come
that's
back and
why
you're leaving
they
bullshit.
found with each other, and they have, I think, 4 kids. They just had their 4th one or something like that, or third or 4th. But yeah,
That's
that's
dope.
beautiful.
Well, that's like a
to be
Justin
able-
Timberlake and a Jessica Biel.
Yes, to be able to find the balance and find that relationship with that person that you can still have these things with,
How come it's always the
Right.
guy?
that gets to go and okay, so this is what I would say where it makes maybe a little bit of sense in that time that you are around, if you want to have kids, pregnancy, right? And then you probably want to heal back, get back to normal, right? And be with your kids,
Mhm.
breastfeed if you want, and then kind of regroup. And if you want to make a movie here or there, and then if you want to continue to have kids, be able to go through that process. So as a
The other
female,
thing is that
you
is
have
they
to
were
be
the
able,
guys were the bigger stars
or yes,
in those
yes,
scenarios, right? Jessica
In those
Biel was
scenarios,
younger,
yes.
and like
that's the
Blake
thing.
Lively,
I think
same thing.
that's where maybe it becomes a little bit more of a situation.
It's like you go do it because I'm just trying to get there. You're already there,
Yeah.
right? So just go
So what
higher,
you're
and
saying
I got
is
your back.
a little easier for it when someone's a little like
Yeah, because if it's equal, like Scarlett Johansson
Yes.
is a star,
Yes.
right? So she's not gonna be like, I'm not waiting. I'm gonna go make this movie,
Yes.
right?
You wait, yeah,
So-
or you go and I'll go, and we both make it happen, and then we're you both out there making it happen, not caring about
Yep.
coming back to each other.
Nobody's starting a family, right?
Exactly.
So I get that, but like, what's a good example of a woman who went to work in the industry and the hubby, who was famous, stayed home?
You know, I don't have the answer for that, and maybe it's somewhere in there, and I can't.
If you know anybody in the chat,
if you guys
let us know.
Let us know.
Oh wait, what am I looking at? So G Maybe says they played it on the bus for a school trip. I had to force myself to look away.
Really?
Can't have these band kids seeing my eyes water. Got you, Doodle. He got you so good. He loves Finding Nemo.
This is the thing. I
good
think
movie.
that the movie itself, when you go, like Disney, the story is not necessarily for little kids. I think that the
No.
Finding Nemo, the way
Disney's
that he
are the
loses
master at
his,
that shit.
his wife and his other kids, like the story in there is super deep.
Oh,
But
the
and
Disney
going
movie
in
is
a
super deep.
journey to like try to find. Don't make me get back to where I was.
I'm just saying.
saying that
I can no longer see
if
you.
we can go ahead and make those. Oh damn, that would be that would be a John Wick movie. I was like, if we can go in and like,
You wanna navigate me through the rest of that idea?
I'm thinking of like bringing it to like human world and kind of just make the
Finding Nemo.
make the movie, right?
The
not,
fish.
not using the fish.
Like people.
But yes, but then that would just be
That's John Wick.
that's John-
You heard it here first, guys. Finding Nemo equals John Wick.
meaning that a shark came in, killed all his kids. He had like what 100. Only Nemo made it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they killed the wife, and everybody was gone. It's like, you know, if you turn that and you're like, okay, well, you know,
It's like the wife and the dog.
kind of like it's, and then he goes out there killing everybody.
I get it.
I don't
Except
know.
he didn't kill
And
anybody.
he didn't. He went to find his kid, but if he was, you know, like a big shark, he goes and fights that other shark, and
But he was a little tiny.
he was damn.
He was a little tiny.
That's a sad
clownfish.
movie.
That's a really sad movie.
I would say
man.
someday we'll do Disney night, but yo, Disney talks.
We have to do
get
Disney night.
Really
Shintaro knows
real
what's up. Shintaro
in
knows
this
what's up.
house. We
have to
go
listen.
at
As
it.
long as me and Madman are not having the Disney
discussion.
talk, then we're fine.
I feel like you and I get really intense.
Yeah,
too.
but you get more intense if Madman is here.
Well,
Because you get into defensive big bear mode. Mama bear,
Oh, okay,
murder
okay,
me. So I
okay.
got to be like, all right, you're right, Madman.
no, you never say that.
I don't.
But
I don't.
man,
It's a nice idea, though.
it's a great idea.
It's a nice idea.
That you know.
No, for sure. So, Purple Berry says, "CMoney is parched." I was very
You
much
were,
so.
yes, you
Very
chugga
much
chug.
so. And G maybe says, "Water" from SpongeBob and Patrick. Yes, SpongeBob.
Yes, I
yes.
love it. SpongeBob is funny.
You
Oh
said
my
yes,
God.
just like Purple Berry. She literally said yes.
Really?
SpongeBob is
That's my
peak.
baby. So
Peak.
my okay, we have. How about? Do you have a
You're
favorite
peak, Doodle.
sponge? Thank
You're
you.
peak.
Thank you.
Peekaboo.
Peekaboo. I see you.
Let's play peekaboo.
You are nasty.
I'm just saying. I don't know what you.
Do you have a favorite SpongeBob episode? A real fast one.
No, but I remember.
I can't. That episode when he had that sundae and he used like onions and he stinks like heck. And everybody's just like, don't want to deal with him, run away from him. And Patrick tells him, all right, his smart friend tells him, just face the facts. And he brings him to a mirror. He's like, just say it. And he's shouting at that mirror, I'm ugly, I'm brown. I'm ugly. Yo, Yo, it's hilarious. It's so funny.
That is hilarious.
Man. It's crazy. So good.
She maybe says, then they played Moana, and I was like, no Wana. No Wana. No.
Right?
Moana's amazing.
Moana
Come on, man.
is
Moana's the shit.
the music in there, everything.
Come on, The Rock?
The Rock was
What?
he played it
That
very
song,
well.
how far I go, how inspirational that is. So
There you
amazing.
go. See what I gotta deal with, guys? See
What
what I
is
gotta deal
great. Listen, that baby could have been drowned in that water, but it was saved by the ocean.
by the ocean. Listen,
Come on, man.
Anybody that cannot swim, don't run out there thinking the
Yeah, you
ocean's
won't
gonna
be
save
saved. You won't be
Ocean's
saved.
not gonna save you. That's not real. Okay?
So Shintaro says, C-Money, yeah, I do know what's up.
Yes.
About our
It
Disney
gets
talk.
real.
Purberry says the real problem is Madman and C-Money. And then she proceeds to say, C-Money, what the F?
Yes.
WTF?
I think you guys are like the root when it comes to this. I think he gravitates towards Pixar. You gravitate towards Disney. And that's
no,
goes
his
very
problem is that
rooted.
he thinks that Toy Story 4 is trash.
I think
And
Toy Story 4 is trash.
You don't think Toy
I think
Story
we
4 is
found it in the
trash?
garbage, and then
Lies.
they played the movie, and they
Lies.
were like, "Voila!"
The movie is too
It
good.
was right above Buzz Lightyear, and they took them
Get
both
the
out, and they were
Wow.
like, "Here, watch this."
All right, Madman.
So
All right. Well, I guess I know where Madman gets it from. Shintaro says, C-Money risen up doodle. I'm so glad I learned what that is because we see it now
Yes.
in all these places. In Ninja Turtles, he says
he
it.
says it. No.
Yes. I was like, damn, lucky I found out what that
See,
meant.
look at you guys.
I would have been
changing
like,
lives.
Riz?
You
In
guys
my mind,
are
that's a different
amazing
word.
But listen, you learn everywhere from everyone. And it's crazy how now you know what that means. And so do I. And
Now
that's
we
all
do.
thanks
We're
to you
hip.
guys. Yeah.
We're hip and young.
Yeah, they're keeping us youthful.
G maybe says, I caught the ugly. I was one of the beautiful people before.
Wait, what?
Like SpongeBob. in
Oh my
SpongeBob.
gosh, that
He
episode.
caught the ugly.
See? That episode is awesome.
It's so good.
It's so good. That is
It's a Patrick quote.
Oh, Patrick says that. I didn't remember that. Yo, that episode, that's just like, that's ingrained in my mind when he's in front of that mirror. But I didn't know that. Because then someone comes into the bathroom and they run right back out. So Patrick thinks he's a part of the. Yo, he's so
Hilarious.
dumb.
He made it up.
Yo,
And he believes it.
that was so good.
C-Money. I'm C-Money. Shintaro says C-Money, no way. And the Turtles, yeah, when I heard it, I was like, oh, snap.
Listen, I am so
I get
excited
it.
that they have anime references in the
Yeah, it's
freaking.
really
I
dope.
can't wait to watch it. I'm so excited for it. And you know what, guys? If you did not remember, Blue Beetle came out today.
Oh, shit.
I cannot wait to see that. I'm
Are we
so
watching that on
excited.
Sunday?
I think we should. I think because you guys want
think
us
that's
to
a
watch
Doodle
it. I think because they.
and C-Money exclusive.
I think that's request. It's requested in the chat, right? Damn it! I have to do it then.
Yeah. They said just me and you go. I like that. Thank you. Good job, chat. Good job.
That movie's gonna be amazing. I'm
It
so
is gonna
excited.
be.
And guess
It
who's
is.
in it? George Lopez.
George Lopez and the Karate Kid,
Yes.
which was dope.
Okay, so
Hold on. G maybe says Doodle loves John Wick,
I
but
did.
hates on Duke Kaboom. Yes, Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4.
yes, he was in there. But see,
It's the same guy.
I
See?
said this about
Got him. Get him, G baby. Get him. Yes. Yes.
What
Duke Kaboom.
Listen, what have I said about Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves is a very cold actor. Keanu Reeves can only play certain roles, like John Wick in The Matrix, and he can do Cyberpunk. Perfect.
And Duke Kaboom.
But when he does like The Lake House or anything else, it's like,
He was great
You
in
know,
Speed.
he was all right.
Dun, 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 do, do, do.
How dare you put Sandra Bullock with Keanu Reeves?
I didn't put him
He
there. He
can't
put him.
act.
He can, but
only
he did that
act
movie
in
really damn
certain
good.
roles. He even has a John Wick run that it's like, man, dude, like you got lucky
He-
that these
he-
roles were made for you.
He runs like he got beat the
the
fuck
fuck down.
up.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
hard.
What does he say? Oh, Purple Berry. Oh, what about me? You know I'm better at karate. Pick me. Oh, for Blue Beetle. Listen, Barry, sometimes the mama bear and the papa bear can go watch a movie by goddamn selves. All right?
That started off so sweetly,
Well, you know,
and then it just turned
Gotta-
crazy.
gotta let them know.
So,
She maybe says there is no spoon. There is no
no
spoon.
spoon.
No. Not at all. So, The Office.
No.
What do you mean
Gossip
no?
Girl we were talking about.
Oh, I didn't know we turned to other.
We can go back to The
I
Office.
just- that's okay. Gossip Girl, Blake Lively. We stopped there. But then, what's the other girl's name?
Blair.
Blair. What's her real name?
Chuck
Nobody
was
knows.
freaking.
Chuck was the perfect Chuck.
He was the perfect Chuck.
I didn't know he was
to
British.
play. No, and you know that's surprising. A lot of times, Barbie has an accent. I think is she Brit Australian, I believe.
Is she?
And yeah, and it's kind of crazy because until you see a lot of these actors in an interview, you're like, I didn't even know that.
They shouldn't be allowed to
fooled
talk
me.
their language.
You know?
I'd be like,
I
listen,
got
we're doing an
got.
interview. Keep your ass in character, okay? I don't want to hear a different accent.
Well, it's kind of like you tricked me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
But and also like
All it
hats
does
off
is
to
reveal
you
that apparently
that-
people in all these other countries are just better.
apparently, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
So-
Like, what American goes over there and does well?
I don't know. That's a great question.
But they all come
That's
over
something
here.
to look into. You know?
Mm.
Anyways, but yeah, the he was freaking amazing for that role, and I believe like his character was like it for the show. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think about when I
Yeah.
think of Gossip Girl, I'm like, yo, Chuck. That's that. Like it was well played.
It was.
Yes. Now, should we move on to Friends?
Well, I guess we moved on from The Office.
The Office. Okay, so go ahead, continue with The Office. I thought you had finished.
Not maybe we did. I'm just saying. I don't know why I felt.
Oh, we were talking about the characters a bit.
Yeah. Kevin.
Yes. Always
Funny.
something on his face
Yep.
because he's always eating. Wait, who was the guy in the back?
The HR guy.
The HR guy. And then he was like going through a divorce or something like
Yep.
that. And obviously, Michael, who's an a-hole, and Michael is Steve Carell, the boss in the office. Like, he's just such an a-hole dude. Like,
it's so funny.
insensitive, but it is hilarious. And like, he kind of, like, he has no respect for the company itself.
None.
Like, he just wants it to run just because that's his job. You know what I mean? And he wants, again, because he does the Dundies. Remember when he takes them to give them the award?
the award show
And
that he does.
he takes such pride in that, and he's so hurt that they don't care about it. But he's so oblivious for so long that they don't care about it that he thinks that they do until it's like extremely obvious, and that's how you know how ignorant. So I think, again, going back to the point that they got away with doing this stuff, is that at the root of it all, his feelings were like seriously hurt about these people not being friends with him, and he felt like they were family. So it was done out of like ignorance. Now that it's right,
Yeah.
but it wasn't maliciously done because he did care for all of them.
He
just
did.
thought he was like super funny and his jokes were just not. Well, to us, but just not received properly to them. But I feel like Mindy has been in a lot of shows that put a lot of light in a lot of situations.
Oh, remember she was a doctor?
Yes,
Oh, that is the Mindy Project.
the Mindy Project. And this is
That
the
was a
thing.
different show.
I feel like, and even that Velma show, right? I feel like this did do that though. Like it wasn't, yes, they were making fun, right? And they were being
But they also highlighted
insensitive,
it.
but they're also showing you the things that take place in these offices or these factories, because it was like a paper factory, right? And then they had the office section. It's like the things that happen to like assistants and like, females and like, the stance of the boss and how they think they have the power to go ahead and call the shots. And it doesn't go that personal. It just goes to like with work, right? And being professional. So I think that she has a lot to do with a lot of the things that highlight things that are not right.
Yeah.
And I like that.
I agree with that. Yeah, overall, it was really good. Remember the boss, the girl, Janet?
Janice.
Janice?
Yes, Janice. I believe.
That like Janice like hates him, but then she falls for him or whatever, and they end up hooking up.
But then she leaves him, I think, towards the end. Yes, right? And it's like they have this relationship, and then she goes and she sits there. There's this episode that she comes in, and like right off the bat, like they're in danger of getting shut down. So it's like, the bigger office is saying that we need to shut down somewhere to cut like costs, right? And his office is one of the places in danger, and she's sitting there. Did you not get my fax? And he's like, oh, I didn't get a fax. And then he calls for Pam. And he's like, Pam, where did I not get a fax? What, like, kind of calling her out on it. And she's like, I gave it to you, and you said it didn't matter. Crumpled it up and threw it in the garbage, right? And then, like, he's like, all right, like, get out of here, right? Like.
It's funny because I could like visualize that shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you say it, I could just like see it in my head. Like it's so well done.
It is. And we have a personal attachment to The Office because when Mad Men was little, we could have been doing anything in the world. And if we had the TV on, if that show was running,
came on,
if that song came on, he will drop anything he was doing to run and watch it and listen. He loved that song, and as soon as it was done,
have the video
he will run off.
Of when I took the job up here, and we were in the hotel for training.
Yes.
And we had The Office on, and he gets so excited. He's small as shit.
Like,
I think he's in his diaper.
2 years old.
And he's literally like so excited. He just like runs to the dresser.
He ran into the my baby. He just took off. He was so excited. He was not paying attention.
So pumped. He could not contain himself. And he just fucking ran right into the dresser, like just for no reason.
And until this day, when you hear Mad Men speak, and you talk.
This sounds like bad.
No.
Like when you hear him speak, he speaks with a fucking twitch because. Oh, I got my mic. My mic is all the way over here.
Oh, CMoney forgot he had to talk into a mic.
Yo, can you hear us? Let us know. There you go. I'm digging it. Maybe we should turn the cameras back off. But are we back? We're back. No audio. Oh. Wait. All right. So you talk, Doodle?
Here we go. Can you hear us?
Now we're here?
There we go. So you guys were just watching this.
We were just watching this. Good they didn't hear me though. So that works.
There we go.
Yeah. So we probably shouldn't talk about Mad Men. I'm actually concerned now that this happened. It's like, what is Mad Men doing upstairs right now?
Right? He's like, my mom is about to compromise my integrity.
Yeah, apparently.
So what I was getting to is that Madman, even now, when you hear him speak and he's talking about like a video game, he's like the soundtrack, the music, like he hears everything, like things that like you can easily overlook or not pay attention to. Like he loves these things. For Smash Brothers, for Persona, the music is such a big deal to him. So he loves instrumental and like stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And the beat to it, that's where it all started.
That's where it all started.
With The Office.
With The Office, for sure. So
Yes.
Office is dope. Office is dope. We really enjoy it. So listen, I don't know how long we have.
This is a situation we got over here. We may be here for a while. We may just crash again.
So
right?
we're gonna jump into what any other shows outside of this last one.
Well, I mean, we talked about. I've spoken of Smallville before. Unless you have something to say, or you guys out there can put in the chat if you have any other suggestions.
Any other shows that we're missing from that time?
Oh, Seinfeld.
Well, that we are missing that because we were not Seinfeld people.
I did not get into that. And I would say that I did try to watch a few episodes.
I mean, it was okay.
I just didn't care.
It's okay. It's just not huge. We like Christine.
Christine, oh
the
my
new
gosh.
Old Adventures of the New Christine.
You guys, if you have not seen
that was a good ass show.
You got to check it out. The Old Adventures of New Christine.
Yes.
She is a mess in this show. It is so funny. Her and Barbara, who is played by Wanda Sykes, their relationship is crazy. They are so funny together. Such a good show.
That's really a good show. Like she's so funny, and the way the brother looks at her and treats her like she's crazy.
Like she's crazy, but like
he's crazy
too. Like she's older than he is, but he's like emotionally there for her because he feels like she's a mess, and it's like they're both a mess and they need each other.
They are.
And it's kind of cute, and it's a nice show.
You know, as I watch this screen, I wonder if people think when they see the two of us here, that you're a giant and I'm a midget.
I don't know, C,
because I'm like
guys,
all the way on the bottom of the screen.
So you guys should tell C-Money. What I tell C-Money is that he should adjust his camera because he's trying this new thing where it blurs the back, right? Or
it blurs the background.
Or my Cocoa Puffs. It blurs it, right?
No, that's your vision. It's crystal clear.
Whoa.
It's crystal clear. What are you talking about?
I feel like, you need to figure that out. That whole situation.
Because you're all sitting, upright and nice, and my chair's all like leaned, and I'm all comfy.
Okay.
Because then I would have to like sit up here, right? So if I sit up here, it's like, oh,
go ahead, let me see.
Slightly normal size.
I feel like still.
What do you mean still?
Like you got to go a little higher.
There's still the same amount of.
Unless it didn't load yet, and I can't see you. Like. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's a bit better.
Yeah.
Okay.
It also looks like my head is giant. Like my head takes up about 80% of the screen, and your head is just this little tiny, Maybe
zoom out your camera.
Yeah. Whatever.
Anyways.
It's a mystery. Maybe I am a midget.
Okay.
Oh wait, can I say that?
I don't know, but.
Well, if I identify myself as one, then I probably can.
I don't know, see, but I don't know where you're going with this
conversation.
I don't know what's happening. I think maybe,
happening. Listen,
maybe just relax.
So,
all right?
Old Christine, New Adventures, great.
I cannot believe we overlooked that one because that was such a good show.
Is the dude from the Avengers.
So he plays, that's the ex-husband. So
it's
the New Adventures of Old Christine. So the New Adventures is the fact that she's just going through a divorce. He found someone else. Her name is Christine.
It's also Christine.
Okay? So the New Adventures of Old Christine, because she's the Old Christine, they have a kid together and they live kind of like right by. And she started a business with Barbara, who's Wanda Sykes.
Yes.
It's so good. I can't believe that we didn't throw that in there.
There was only so much space on the thumbnail, that's why.
But I didn't even think of it until you said it now. And it's like,
You've watched like a lot of TV.
I think so. It's good for the soul.
I think so.
Something like
All
that.
right.
Whatever.
So
That's
any
not the
other
deep-
ones? Any other ones?
Obviously, after if we're finishing
Outside of
up
the
with
last one,
Friends,
obviously,
I
yeah.
think we need to mention Joey. The Joey Show, heartbreaking.
A lot of people probably never seen the
A lot
Joey
of people
Show.
maybe didn't
That was
see
also
it,
a good
or
show.
maybe some people did see it and maybe didn't like it. I will say that the first episode I saw, I kind of didn't like it and I moved on from it until we watched it together and we watched the whole season. The Joey Show is hilarious. He moves to LA to continue his career. So the big problem with that was that they were supposed to kind of end the show together, and they felt kind of like betrayed by Joey because he went ahead and continued with a character from the show that they closed on. It's kind of like, why are you being the chosen one to continue, right?
You know why
because
he took that job?
They all got married, and
Well,
it was his. He was the only one that. It's like, what happened with Joey?
Well, his character could keep going,
exactly.
But the reason why he took that job, because I read, thanks to you, Matthew Perry's book.
Yes.
And Matthew Perry left Friends and was going to go do a show. They were giving him $60,000 an episode to make Sunset Boulevard Strip or whatever the hell. Joey was getting $600,000 an episode to do the Joey Show.
Yes.
So if you, I'm getting this bag, bro.
I'm getting paid. And, you know, that was also like a pay cut for him because he went from making Friends, in which he was making $1 million an episode, to $600,000 an episode.
I got to tell you, those people, that core group on Friends are smart. But thanks to, first of all, okay, are we switching over? No, because we're talking about Joey. But I guess it all blends together.
Blends together.
So thanks to Ross. Ross is actually the reason why they all got the same deal with each other and they all stuck together, because Ross said we should go in there together to do this.
To negotiate.
And the thing is that Ross was actually the most senior person there. Like, he was the one with the clout.
So essentially he said, I'm not going to go ahead and make a deal just for me. Let's go all together and let's be fair. He could have done that.
He could have,
which is what Will Smith
Chandler
did, and that's why
that
everybody was angry at him, because during the Fresh Prince, they wanted him to stick with them and kind of let's all go and let's talk and let's all get paid. But he was like, nah, I'm making my own deal.
Well, dude, this is not called the Fresh Family of Bel-Air. This is the Fresh Prince. This was his show. It was about him. Why am I going to risk my shit for you guys?
Because it's a show that should have included everyone.
No, Friends, the show was about all of them. So you couldn't single out people, right? Because it would make it seem silly. But the show revolved around Will Smith.
All right. How are we talking about Will Smith again?
You brought it up.
You bring it up.
I did not.
You need to move.
This is recorded.
Because listen, people are angry at him over that.
People
and
love
I think
Will.
No, they don't.
They do. These are facts. Okay. So listen. Ross did this.
Yes.
So David Schwimmer, he went, he got them all on board. Matthew Perry was like, I absolutely would not have done this if it were me.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. And that was very nice of him, and it benefited everyone. And I think...
And that's why they're all set for life.
They all stay... But this is the thing. Then he's the reason why the show lasted so long. I think had they gone in and negotiated separately and everybody got paid differently...
it would have ended.
I think it would have ended because people would have been pissed. It was going to leak somehow that somebody's getting paid more than someone else. Jealousy, why I add the same thing to the show, if not more. Yep. Here comes the bitterness.
They get the same
and that
check
been a problem.
from the show. Like, everything is the same.
Yes.
So, like, the money they make right now from the show is the same.
It's all the same.
They're all equal.
As it should be, because I feel like essentially
what a gig, dude.
They
you did this
all
thing.
brought the same thing. I mean, I have my favorite character from Friends. So for me personally, it's Ross. Yo, when he is
my sandwich,
when he's mental Ross,
mental Ross,
he goes umagi. Yes, he goes in, yo. When he's really making those fajitas.
Oh man!
Yep.
Fajitas.
When he's making the fajitas because Joey and Rachel are dating and he's
okay.
Not
So we transitioned over to talk about Friends.
Okay,
Friends is the show that we're talking about.
Okay, so the Joey Show is hilarious. So he moves to LA and he is living essentially, his sister found him the place that he's living in, right? And she's essentially like living there pretty much. His sister has a son and his son is like, you know, in college. And so
he's a genius.
He's a genius, but he's also not smooth with the ladies. And we know Joey from being smooth with the ladies. He is the opposite of Joey. So it's really cool to see them together.
Yes.
Also, his agent, who is played by the friend that comes to visit Monica and they keep trying to dodge her and Phoebe.
Oh,
that
the
starts
shark.
dancing for Chandler and she's doing the kicks.
From American Pie.
Yes. She plays the freaking agent, Joey's agent, and she's hilarious.
She is. She is hilarious.
It's really good. I think it didn't have a chance because everybody was so bitter about Friends coming to an end and Joey taking the gig. But they even made season 2, but didn't release it. So we've never seen it because it wasn't released, but they did film it.
We saw some of it. We did watch it. What do you mean? We watched it on YouTube.
Season 1, did we see it? If we saw it, it was like on YouTube or something like that.
Yeah, it was on YouTube. It was Matt Bootleg, but we watched it.
Okay, well,
remember, they did basically just skipped ahead and got them married.
Yeah.
And just ended the show right there. So G maybe says,
and then from there he went to Men with a Plan, which was also
a great show. G maybe says, I think I've only seen one episode by accident of Old Christine.
Oh my God, it's so good. She's such a mess.
He said by accident. It was a mistake. A mistake. So Burberry says, I remember pieces of the Joey show. The real problem is that he was supposed to live over Monica in Chandler's garage. Yes.
But it was for when he got older and kind of like it was kind of like we're all married and there's always a room here for you. But I think Joey, being an actor and
went to LA.
At that point, what's holding him there? All his friends are married. They're starting a family. They moved, right? So he's just now there.
Well, I mean, technically, Ross and Rachel's still there.
Technically, but they don't live in the same building, but they have their own lives, right? So at this point, it's kind of like, okay, let me go
have kids.
and really dive into my career.
Damn it, see, we're still talking about Friends.
It literally made sense the way that they set it up, though. Like, there couldn't have been a more perfect scenario. I'm not sure that I was interested in seeing what happened with Joey. I probably would have been interested in like Rachel and Ross, but I'm not sure in like their kids and stuff like that. I'm not sure.
I still feel like they need to make a Rachel and Ross right now, and they need to get married and have babies. And even though that ship has probably sailed.
I don't think that Phoebe and Mike, I don't think I would have cared to see anything about them. I'm not sure even Monica and Chandler. It's like, okay, done. You guys got together. You're having kids. Get out of my face. But Ross and Rachel, I would have continued to see. And Joey, for sure, I would have liked to continue to see what happened with his life. Dude, when we watch those episodes, they're freaking like laugh out loud, hilarious to me. And so to another note with what you said, what did you just mention about, you said something about the show. Made me think of
Burberry? The real problem is that he was supposed to live on top of Monica and Chandler's garage?
No, you had mentioned something yourself. It sparked something. But anyways, so yeah, like I would have loved to have seen a little more. The funny thing is that we have this whole thing with Ross and Rachel, and when they did the reunion, so supposedly Ross and Rachel were like a real tension thing.
So we're moving to Friends.
Well, it's all intermingled, CMoney.
Okay.
All right?
So
go ahead.
All right. So G maybe says, let's be fair. David Schwimmer wouldn't have got that money had it not been for the others. I mean, supposedly Chandler makes it seem like David Schwimmer was the it guy. Like he could have gotten whatever he wanted.
And I think Chandler,
he probably took less actually
to balance it out
with everybody.
So this is the thing. He was like a big actor. Like I think it was in Broadway, right? That he was doing shows or something like that. I don't know what he was doing, but like he was like a big deal. And supposedly, and I
Monica
think
was too.
And Monica was because she had done like Scream already, right?
And well, no, she did I think she was in like All My Children or some shit like that.
But so this is the thing. when you read the book, right, there's a lot of bitterness coming from Matthew Perry because there was a tension between Rachel and Ross in real life, David Schwimmer and Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
What they said, it was that it never aligned. So, like, by the time he was broken up with his girlfriend, she was already dating, like, Brad Pitt. And it kind of, like, it was never the right time. So there was a connection there. Now, when you read the book, Chandler and Matthew Perry makes it very obvious that he was, like, obsessed with Jennifer Aniston, right? He was, like, in love with her, right? But she didn't like him like that. But she did have a thing for David Schwimmer. So you can hear something like David Schwimmer could have gotten whatever he wanted. And it's like, it also comes, if you really think about it, with a little bit of bitterness. Like, you could have been with her, I couldn't, and I wanted to.
True.
But
True.
I think it was the right path for Jennifer Aniston to not end up with Matthew Perry. I think we can agree on that.
My boy Matthew had it rough.
Yes, he's done some things.
Where he says he's got the best one-liners. Facts. Pivot. Her name is Charlie, right? And then, Charlie was the girl that Ross was with,
dated Charlie,
and Joey dated her.
Yes, and so did Joey.
And then, oh my God, Amanda Darling. That's the lady.
Yes.
Now G maybe says Ross and Rachel talk about a manic parenting couple. Listen,
yes,
Ross and Rachel.
By the way,
they're my everything on the Friends show.
What happened with Ben? You guys.
Nobody cares about
Ben.
Ben.
Nobody gave a crap.
He was a bastard child.
See, G maybe just made me think of like those were rough words, by the way. What the hell did you just say? But G maybe just made me think of them in like their relationship and how like he had another kid, right? And like he was never really mentioned or like
who?
Yeah. Ben.
So Ben, he was there. He served the purpose when it was, with Ross's ex-wife and stuff, in a way to keep
Fun
her
fact,
popping in.
His ex-wife was played by someone differently on that first episode, and then they switched her right out. Or I don't know how that went down, but it was just that one time.
Which is wild because the wife's wife was the same the whole time. Which is crazy. Okay, so
I just watched. I made a sandwich when they were having the threesome, and Rose was like, "I was just watching."
So to be clear, Friends is by far my favorite show of
so that's
all
your
shows.
Like the GOAT.
Yeah.
You can put it on at any time and be in the mood for it.
Love it.
Background noise.
That AMV you made is my favorite one. It's so good.
I figured I made that just for you, see.
Yes. Ross and Rachel, the moment of any TV show in the world, nothing will
exactly
ever,
what he's gonna say.
Ever top the moment when Ross was freaking out because Rachel called him and said that she was trying to get off the flight and they wouldn't let her off the flight, and Ross is like looking at the phone, like screaming at it, let her off, and then out of nowhere she says
no, because he said,
did
she get off the plane? And then he turns and she's right there. I got off the plane.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Fucking
listen, I know how much you love that show. I had to make that MV for you.
It was phenomenal. Love
and
it.
I'm
Perfect
glad
song.
You liked it.
Perfect MV.
Thank you.
Money.
Yeah, that show was something else. Like that.
Yeah, that was a moment in time.
Yes.
Like lightning in a bottle. Never will happen again.
No,
there's no show that even comes close. People like Modern Family. Modern Family is a really good show, but it doesn't have the story.
It's not the same.
It's not the same story.
Modern Family took a little bit of like The Office. They had that like kind of like Friends chemistry, but they had like friendships, the families, and then on top of it, they did that interview situation where they're kind of like a show within a show. So they made like the reality, but it's kind of like been there, done that type of thing. Although that show itself, it's really good.
Yeah.
It won a lot of awards. It went on for a long time. And fun fact, Gloria, who's played by
Sofia
Sofia
Vergara.
Vergara, she is hilarious, you guys. And
Facts.
she has an interview. So Kevin Hart on Peacock has this show, Heart to Heart, right? That's the one where he interviews, people. And he's like, he takes them to like his winery and it's a winery, I would say.
It's
whatever.
his basement.
His basement.
But it's a humongous winery.
Yes. So they go ahead and they have wine, right? So he gets them a little, loose. Exactly the reason why he's, bringing in the wine.
Yep.
And anyways, but he interviewed her and she's so freaking funny. She's so good. She was so good in the show. And she's just that normal in real life because it seems like when she speaks, it's just like her, just genuine.
Agreed.
I like her a lot. Very funny.
So Friends is really just a show that I could watch forever.
Yeah.
Like literally turn it on anytime.
And just
I'll
let
be
it
happy.
run. We made a playlist for Thanksgiving and we just did all the Friends Thanksgivings, right? And we put it on the background like after the parade and we were cooking and setting everything up and first of all, I had to pause it because everybody like just stopped doing what they were doing. And it was like, I thought it would just like play, but it didn't. It's like everybody just wants to go see it, right? And one of my favorite episodes is their Thanksgiving episode when they have Brad Pitt come in. Yo,
yes.
Oh
he
my
was so
God,
good
he was
in
so
that episode, dude. He was so good.
That moment, he is laughing because I know that Phoebe did this and it wasn't on the script. She's like, just take off your shirt. And then she goes and hugs him. And it's like, yo, like that
But
just
wasn't Jennifer
happened.
already with him at that time?
Yeah, they were married already.
Inappropriate, Phoebe.
Well, it's kind of like a playful, it's Brad Pitt. She married Brad Pitt, so she knew what she was getting into.
That's true.
Yeah. I can only imagine how excited they were to get him on the show. I mean, they had a lot of big stars.
They had a lot
they
of
had
celebrities.
Bruce Willis. What's the
Great arc.
funny
Great arc for Bruce Willis.
The shorter guy that plays the
Danny
stripper, Danny DeVito, right? Or something
was it
like
Danny DeVito?
Danny. I know that's his first name. I don't remember if that's his last name.
I think so. The little guy.
But Reese Witherspoon plays one of Rachel's sisters. She pops in and out.
And again, it's like an arc. They didn't. It's not like one-off only.
Exactly.
Like they come in and they play, and then obviously Phoebe's husband.
Oh
Mike,
my God, Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen
He was
in it.
there. He had the chicken
Oh
pox.
my God.
I can't believe
Two
we
and a
didn't
Half
talk
Men.
about 2.5 Men.
Man.
That was a great show. Again,
Awesome show.
ruined by the fact that he was trying to get out of his contract. He started acting out in,
Ashton Kutcher was pretty good on it too,
Ashton Kutcher
though.
did good stepping in.
Right in the beginning, it was like, oh, this is different.
Yes.
But when you keep watching it, and it's like, all right, this is actually not bad.
Yeah, he even brought in Mila Kunis for one of the episodes. I said he brought her in, but I'm assuming she came in because she was comfortable doing it because now he's a part of the show. But there was just, you think of Charlie Sheen and you think of him in 2.5 Men and you're like, okay, that's his character. That's who he is. You can't think of like Ashton Kutcher playing that guy. At least I couldn't necessarily like just go full in with that. But the real star of that show, as great as Charlie Sheen was his brother. The stingy, cheap brother that would try to save a penny in any freaking way he could.
Because he didn't have any money.
Yo, it was hilarious.
It
was so good. But really I can't believe we forgot to bring that up. But he was in Friends and he was with Phoebe.
Yes.
They had a lot of big stars coming.
They really
the show.
did. It was like really, really a phenomenal show. All the storyline, like for me, I love every storyline.
Yeah.
So Ross and Rachel, Chandler and Monica, Joey just kind of finding his way because, he was a playboy type dude, but then he kind of started wanting to get things more serious.
How did you feel about the idea that Joey fell in love with Rachel and then they bring it around and she falls in love with him?
But then they show you that they're not really in love, because when they went to go do serious stuff, she didn't allow it to happen because she knew that she didn't actually love him that way.
I
Oh my
think
God, when they had the baby and she thought he could propose to her and
yes,
this whole thing. Oh my God.
that was
So
crazy.
good, dude. So good. There has to be, is there no one who loves Friends in the
In the
chat? I don't
chat,
know.
some Purpleberry loves Friends. I know
I know
that
Purpleberry loves
for
Friends.
sure. That's her show. And again, I think, you know, for Purpleberry has a connection, I feel like, with shows that you feel a connection with because she loves you so much. And I think for her,
That's my girl.
knowing that you love these shows and like, because she also like, you know, Fuller House, Boy Meets World, all
Boy
these
Meets
shows
World.
that
So good.
Girl Meets World, they rebooted the show and then they called
Which they
it
did a good job with that.
And for her, I think it's more of the fact that you are so invested in these shows and characters that makes her so open-minded to wanting to accept them and see what you found in them that you know
Absolutely.
that you like so much. So I think that's the connection that for her is so
Agreed.
strong.
100%. 100%. That's my girl.
That's your baby. That's my baby.
So, all right. So, what would you say is one of your favorite moments in Friends?
Yo, okay. So they're all, for some reason, as soon as you said that, I get like, you know how my mind works. It picks up really fast and it's just very, it's like a report. So, yo, it goes instantly to Ross, dude. And I love that fajitas one where he's flipping out about them being together and he's just so funny. But when Ross is dating trying to get back into dating, and he goes out on that date, and he puts on those leather
pants. Oh my God.
He goes to use the bathroom.
That's be
you
the
guys.
worst case scenario.
Yo, his leather pants won't come back up, so he's calling Joey, and Joey is so aloof about it. But like, Ross is like crying in the bathroom.
It was so
Joey tells him to
dude.
put on lotion, right? And he starts pouring lotion all over his legs. And then he's like, well, if the lotion is not working, why don't you put on some powder? I found baby powder, Joey. I found baby powder. So he's like, put on baby powder. Like, Joey doesn't give a crap about what's taking place right now. But Ross is like crying and it's like, he played it so well because he's not physically crying, but his face is so stressed and his tone of voice is that moment where you're in a situation and you're like internally crying because you don't know what to do, but you know you need to fix it and you don't know where to start. That's that feeling that you get from that tone of voice and that facial expression. And he's there and he's pulling up the pans, and between like the lotion and the powder, he's created a paste. And he's pulling up the pans and his hand slips and he just smacks himself on the forehead.
My God.
Yo, you can't make this shit up. Like, this is crazy.
You can't make somebody do that.
Yes.
Like, it was him.
You can't
it was
tell
just
him do this like this. Like, he went ahead and they said, you know, the leather pants won't come back up. Figure out what to do in this bathroom. And like, this is how it played out.
And he just did it.
Dude, that moment, like, I relive it in my mind as we're speaking and I'm saying the stuff and it's like so vivid in there. And it's like, dude, this guy is crazy. These scenes are amazing. Yeah. And I mean, he has some of the best stories. He's just looking for love. Like, he wants to be committed. That's why he got married so many freaking times. Ross just wants to have his penguin, right? Penguins, they mate for life or whatever it is, or his lobster, right? Phoebe said they mate for life. That's his lobsters, whatever. So he just wants to find his lobster and he wants to be with this person and have a family. That's all he's looking for, right? So that's why he gets married so many times and he doesn't care how much he fails. Yes, when he hears the number, he panics, but he's not like sorry about what he's trying to do. So when
Agreed.
him and Rachel get married in Vegas, and he
Oh
doesn't
my
want
God,
to
what a
tell
great
her
time.
that he didn't file for like an annulment, and now they have to get divorced. Like, it's just a box. You just check off. It's so funny. It's so funny.
It's so good. All right, so rank the Friends for yourself.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so automatically, and this is a conclusion I came to, because automatically when I think of Friends, I think Joey, like he's my favorite, right? But when I really analyze it and everything that comes to my mind, it just leads to Ross. So Ross, number one, for sure. I would say followed by Joey, followed by Rachel. And I would say Monica would be next, Phoebe, and then Chandler. I think that's my rank. So Ross at the top, Joey, Rachel, Monica, Phoebe, and Chandler. Phoebe and Chandler are fighting for that spot, but I feel like I know too much like of Chandler outside of the show. And it's like, you know?
So I feel like for me, it's Ross, Chandler, Joey, and then
Rachel, Monica, and then Phoebe. Yes.
Phoebe. Yeah, because Monica, depending on how much you're watching.
Yes,
if you're
get
watching
really
a lot, sometimes she gets annoying.
Yes, and I think that they all can, but mostly like Monica, Phoebe, those are the easier ones that will get to me if I'm like watching too much of. Or like someone can get annoying in the character that they're playing, it would be those two.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Agreed. And do you have? I know you talked about the pants.
Yes.
Scenario.
How about you? Do
Ross?
You have anything that just like automatically it's like, holy crap, that moment, right? Obviously the plane, but I'm talking like maybe funny or like that just
it all has to do with Ross.
Yeah. It all
like
that's the thing. It always comes back to
I think
Ross.
of the fajitas. I think of my sandwich. I think of unagi. I think of when Rachel teaches his son to prank him.
Oh my gosh.
And then at the end of the show, he runs up the stairs and Rachel comes running and he throws the body down and she fucking loses her mind. Thinks it's Ross. I think of like the episode where Joey and Chandler are in New York with the baby and they left the fucking baby on the bus. There's so many
much
good ones
there. Yes. And
there's
then
so many
when
good
you
ones.
think of the heart-wrenching moments, it's like that Ross and Rachel first kiss, right?
Yes.
That was epic when she opens those doors at the cafe and they just kiss. And it was like breathtaking because he leaves and they're upset, right? And you don't think, and just the soft knock and the tapping on the window that he does that kind of says with his, his face is kind of like, I'm sorry, like that it shouldn't have gone that way. Like he doesn't need to say it. Just opens those doors and they just kiss. That is like such a big moment.
So dope.
When he calls out Rachel's name, and fun fact, you guys, he really did. He said the wrong name and they left it in the episode. That was not supposed to be there. He just said Rachel's name. Again, back to loving Jennifer Aniston and feeling that connection through the show. He went and he was supposed to say Emily's name. He said Rachel's. They loved it and they by mistake.
That's perfect.
And
and alter the course of the show.
Exactly.
So Purpleberry says that they didn't tell her that was going to happen. She thought it was real. So when Ross throws the dummy down,
she thought
they
it
didn't
was
tell Rachel. She thought it was real.
Oh my! I would die.
That's
hilarious.
Why
she like covers her eyes.
She
and
really
she spins,
that was like a
twice
that wasn't
in a
acting.
circle.
Like that didn't look like
that
she was
a reaction.
Yeah, she reacted to that. That's great. Nice info there, Purple
Thank you,
Berry.
Purple. I didn't know that.
All
by
right.
the way. But yeah. That's I can see it now though, the way she covers her eyes and just like spins in disbelief, like this isn't like not
Yeah.
happening. It's not real.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but the moments when they have their child together, and they're living together.
When Chandler tells the little boy that he's adopted.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Don't tell your parents. And he gave me $50. He's like, well, you should technically give it back.
That's hilarious.
Okay. So a guest that I love in this show. So Ross is dating Mona. And Rachel at the time is pregnant with Ross's baby. Rachel needs to tell her dad, right? So she asked Phoebe to go with her to tell, because when she was younger, he caught her smoking, or he said, if I ever catch you smoking, I will make you eat the box of cigarettes. And she's like, I will not let this man make you eat your own baby. All right. So she went with her, right? And she's talking to the father, finally tells him.
Oh my God.
And he's like trying to book the plaza because he thinks they're getting married, but they're not getting married, right?
No.
So he shows up at Ross's apartment. And Ross is with Mona, who doesn't know that Rachel's having his baby. And dude, that scene right there between them is like
priceless. It's so good. They Winona Ryder was in it. Her Rachel's college friend who had a lesbian moment.
Coconuts bumping into each other. She can't stop thinking about that kiss.
She plays her the whole time, making Rachel feel like she made it up.
Yes, in front of Phoebe, because Phoebe needed to know if this was real.
But at the end, Winona said, I've been thinking about that kiss since college. That's hilarious. It's so good, dude.
And then Phoebe kisses Rachel. They kiss, right, in that episode. And she's like, I don't get it. Like, it's all right. Like, it's not that great of a kiss. And it's like, yo, they had them, like, they kissed. Like, that was a time. That was a moment in time. It's like Lisa Kudrow kissed Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, it's wild. There's just so many. Like, the show went on. It's 10 seasons.
Yeah.
And like 20-something episodes, 30 episodes or whatever it was. A lot, except for the last season, because Rachel, we know the truth, Rachel.
What do you mean?
Rachel ended the show.
Well, yes. But do
she
you
made it
think
end early.
That the show should have continued? Do you think that there was...
No, I mean, obviously we don't know, because the way they showed us the show was based off the idea that it was going to end.
That it was...
So they could have obviously done other things to keep the show going and made it, made Ross and Rachel not end up together right there and do other things. Do you think
that decision had anything to do with like Brad Pitt, like maybe saying you're bigger than the show at this, like you're bigger than the show if you're ever going to get out? Like, she was making a lot of movies, right? So if you're ever going to get out, this is your time to kind of go on a high, and while you're out there,
Yeah.
He probably, because I think they had a company together. It's crazy how beautiful their relationship seemed. And like the whole thing was that supposedly she didn't want to have kids, but one of her friends came out and said she will never not have a family and not have kids. Kind of like, that's bullshit. He just hooked up with Angelina Jolie, and that's what really
she made Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And
maybe they were having problems in that, like, in the having problems situation, that situation took place. And I think that maybe they could have fixed it, but I think they couldn't backpedal the fact that Angelina Jolie got pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so, a little bit. Kind of hard to backpedal that.
So I think that was the situation.
Yeah.
But, maybe Ross is happily married, and like, I think they have kids. So that whole idea that there was, I guess it's just not the right time ever for Ross and Rachel in real life.
That's true.
Like, when it's not meant to happen, it's not meant to happen. And that's just what it is.
I agree 100%.
Right?
Well, any last words? These are final words.
Not ever, but on this show, these shows are freaking amazing. The fact that they are, if running on TV, most of the shows that we spoke about are only 30 minutes, but that's with commercials. So we're getting what, like a clean 17
20
minutes, 20 minutes
24
almost.
minutes sometimes.
Like the fact that they can give us that much story and get us involved in these characters' lives the way that they do, it's amazing.
Agreed.
Talk about great writing and phenomenal actors, because at the end of the day, words are just words. And if you can't make us feel anything, we won't, you know? So
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
acting has to be there. And there were a lot of times where, like, they just, we've seen from the bloopers, like Chandler will say a line and then he'll say, hold on, let me do it this way. Or they'll tell. And then it's like you see how comedy is, there's a lot more room to play with that. To
Absolutely.
like go ahead and be funny and deliver these things. It's not just the writers writing a joke. Like that takes a lot more, you know?
Agreed.
Obviously, in a love scene and like you're connecting with someone, you're following what they're telling you to say, and you just have to put your feeling into it. Where a joke, you can use like a lot more, and it's kind of like more of take your interpretation of this joke and make it happen.
Agreed.
But
Agreed.
overall, like it was an amazing time. I love that we experienced that time while it was taking place.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the,
that
that's the big
rewatching
thing,
them
for sure.
now is great, but it's also not the same thing when you're watching it for the first time and it's like, oh shoot, I didn't get to be a part of that. We got to be a part of that, which is amazing, and see how things have evolved. And obviously they've evolved like this for a reason. People were not taking to these type of shows anymore the way that they were. And people were not taking to the idea of like delivering these stories through like such a long, amount of time. So it is what it is. But, you can't erase those things. And I'm happy that they're still a part of our lives and, just out there still.
Yeah, 100%
Cougar
agree.
Town, by the way,
Cougar
which
Town was really
Courtney
good.
Fox,
Courtney Cox
went into. It's also a show that's really funny, and I mean
Super
she
funny.
as well as
Super
Chandler. I
funny.
feel like they try a lot and kept on failing with the sitcoms. Chandler more so than any of them. But
nothing
her,
really stuck for him.
yeah, she tried a lot, but that show, that was a good one. That was really good.
It was great premise, great cast.
And then with the show, they were able to see that they messed up with the name, and they kept scratching it off for every episode and naming
doing
it something else rather than just
that was
changing.
really smart.
Yes.
That was really smart. Like they cornered themselves in with the name.
Yeah, because then she would just be somebody who hooks up with younger
She did
guys,
that just the first
right?
episode,
But that
and
was
that was
not
like
the
the end.
essence of the show. It's actually really, really good.
Yeah, that was another good banger. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, I loved this. This was awesome.
Yo, I did too.
Kind of getting to walk down memory lane with you, Doodle, and
Thank you.
fine folks over in the chat. Appreciate you coming to hang with us.
Thank you guys. You've been so amazing. Thank you
it
for
was.
hanging with us.
Absolutely.
Through the good times and the not so good. Our stream shut down,
It did.
and you
It
guys stuck it through. Thank you.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Yes.
And also pretty cool that YouTube, if you're live and you shut down, it just stays live waiting for you
Yes.
to come back.
So just
so
know
thanks,
that
YouTube.
if this ever happens again, we'll be back. We're just figuring it out, and we'll come right back. We
Absolutely.
will never let a stream cut short because of technicality and not try to make it happen again and finish what we were doing.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
thank you for hanging.
Again, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging with us. It was awesome. If you haven't, please hit the like
Yes,
button on your way
please.
out.
Thank you,
also,
guys.
make sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and hit the little bell, the bell notification. So today's Friday night. We did this awesome stream. Tomorrow is our podcast.
Today is Saturday morning.
Well, that's listen, that's true. But
Technically.
we'll be waking up sometime tomorrow morning,
Yes.
and we will be doing our podcast. So make sure you have your bell on so you can know when we go on. We don't have a set time for it quite yet. So pay attention to Discord if you haven't. joined our Discord, it's in the description of this video. So go ahead and join our Discord. That way you can know when we're going to go live. But also follow us on Twitter.
Yes.
I'm CMoney Forever. And that is Doodle to be free. So you can follow us there if you want to get an update. And also check the community page on our YouTube channel. And with that, we are done. This was an awesome night. I love these shows. It was awesome taking that kind of trip down memory lane and kind of reminiscing about the old times. So that was very cool. But again, we're done. Doodle.
Yes.
My love.
Yes, sweetheart.
Until next time.
You're intruding.
You're intruding.